something to be said for keeping jobs in America. The canard that Americans won't do certain jobs. Actually, that's not exactly correct. They won't do certain jobs at a certain price.
Bingo.
They're not going to do it for McDonald's wages.
That's exactly right.
They'll do it for a little more money. So I ask you, can't we be a little bit exclusive that way?
No.
I'm sounding like, I'm not Chamber of Commerce guy.
The reason that I'm against it is because the reality is we underwrite everybody through bad policies. Now, here's where I would be on Trump's side. If he proposed this and proposed to defund the IMF and the World Bank, fine. But he wants me to be a two-time loser. He wants me to pay extremely high prices for mediocrity.
Okay, you lost me already because you're too
And
smart.
he wants me to underwrite the loss that the country's
I want to know why a guy
we
from
will
Melrose
subsidize.
Park
Yeah.
knows more about this stuff than I do.
It's not that I know. Listen, here's
Yeah,
the thing.
all right.
Forced, I liked money as a kid.
Apparently
Right?
so.
And don't get me wrong, I blew a lot of it. I'm not here claiming that I'm worth $9 billion. Not at all. Not at all. In fact, that's why I rally against progressive tax system, because it's meant to keep you down.
Sure.
Anyway, when I was a kid, I went to work at 18 years old at the Mercantile Exchange. And one of the things that back then in the 80s you learned were fundamentals. Those are not taught anymore. They're not preached anymore. And they're not necessary anymore because we live in a credit society. Forget the fact that 70% of America can't write a check for $5,000. Can't write it. We are credit wealthy now and reality poor. We are a soiree of people who do not believe in fundamental principles of economics.
Well, during the break, you can.
We just want credit.
During the break, you can explain the IMF to me, and I'll explain to you why Brett Kavanaugh's opinion in the Obamacare case was justified, even though he recognized it as a tax and not a penalty. Because we're going so into the weeds right now. We're going to lose Holly from Hudson.
There's
I'm
a
telling you
reason that this is
Now-
called the AM 560, The Answer. People who listen to conservative talk radio are smarter than the average bear on a whole. Now, granted, we'll get the callers.
Boring.
All right, go ahead.
You know what? The average American is above average.
Mhm.
This is Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson on extension 720 right here.
Oh,
on
don't
AM,
do that.
AM 5 extension 560.
Oh.
AM 560. The Answer.
It's what Chicago is talking about. It's Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy on AM 560. The Answer.
All right. Today, weather. I don't have the weather report, but that's okay. I remember it from yesterday. Today is going to be 88. It's not going to be as warm as yesterday. It's not going to be as sticky. We're going to have some clouds, a little chance of thunderstorms later tonight. Tomorrow, it's going to be a mirror image of today. And here's the nice thing. I don't have to be right because 3 days ago you told me the high was going to be 70.
Well, right now, according to my iPhone
Yeah, what do you
and
got?
the app, it's 68 degrees.
Beautiful
and it's
morning,
going to be a sunny day
Oh,
through the morning, 74 degrees.
Uh-huh.
Tomorrow, it's going to be a high of 83. It's sunny through next Wednesday.
yeah.
There we go.
Riveting. Riveting.
That's according to my
Absolutely riveting.
iPhone, and if you'd like directions to somewhere, I think we have a traffic reporter, but I
Wonderful.
can get you a
But I
GPS
wanna-
traffic report.
There was
too.
a guy behind me in a
Yeah.
Ford Focus early this morning on my way in with his brights on. There's 2 lanes. Why is he right behind me? Maybe Kevin Henry can tell me.
Well, we don't see them out there right now, Sean, but we do have those closures in place in Grant Park, Taste of Chicago, Congress between Congress Plaza and Columbus, Columbus between Monroe and Balbo, Jackson between Michigan and Lakeshore Drive, Lakeshore itself moving well at this time. Downtown, you also have the Millennium Art Festival. That closes late between Michigan and Stetson. Should be open by Sunday. Edens and Kennedy still moving well. Ike all cleared up outbound from that earlier road work. The Stevenson is 34 in either direction. Now, the Ryan outbound, the ramp from 87th Street, still closed from overnight road work. That should be open by 6 o'clock. I-57, the Ford, moving well. No trouble on your Illinois tollways, 80 through Joliet, or the roads in and out of Indiana. I'm Kevin Henry in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
A good parking lot is essential to a good building and a good business.
This is Kevin Berquist. My company is SKC Construction, home of GreatParkingLots.com. Great parking lots. The name says it all. We make your parking lot great. We are an industry leader in seal coating. You can trust our company to do the work for your company. We have the same traditional values as you. We use a process and application that makes sure you get a great job that lasts a long time. I guarantee you'll have a good experience. Check it out, greatparkinglots.com.
Go to greatparkinglots.com. Schedule a free inspection and get a quote to make your parking lot a great parking lot. Special early season discounts if you act now. Save the expense. Fix, don't replace. Contact SKC Construction now for commercial parking lot seal coating and maintenance. SKC Construction, home of greatparkinglots.com. greatparkinglots.com.
Your kids won't be thinking about school very much this summer, but it's the perfect time for you to think about where you'll be sending your child back to school this fall. More and more parents are thinking about private school, and maybe that's you. Well, private school has never been more affordable. Thanks to halfpriceschools.com, where you can find tuition vouchers for private schools across Chicagoland available at half the normal price. There's no catch. It's very simple. Find a school near you, purchase the tuition voucher, and prepare to send your child off to school this fall. Halfpriceschools.com has schools located all across Chicagoland, including schools in Westminster Christian School in Elgin, St. Paul Lutheran in Aurora, Midwestern Christian Academy in Chicago, Emmanuel Lutheran School in Palatine. But don't delay. Summer won't last forever, and school will be starting again before you know it. Visit halfpriceschools.com today. Many of these vouchers have already sold out, so don't wait. Visit halfpriceschools.com today. That's halfpriceschools.com.
Illinois deserves an honest analysis of the problems facing our state. Avoid the spin from the mainstream media and Springfield insiders by tuning in to Illinois Rising every Sunday at 3 p.m. AM 560's Dan Proft and the Illinois Policy Institute tackle the policy and political issues that matter most and discuss possible solutions. So if you're sick of the status quo, then be sure to listen to Illinois Rising this Sunday at 3 p.m. on AM 560. The Answer. AM 560. The Answer.
Money. Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for. We should really do a podcast that's just the off-air stuff.
Yeah, the off-air stuff is good.
The deep cuts.
Sure.
Okay. Let's go to Tony from the South Side. Good morning, Tony.
Good morning, guys. How you doing, Sean?
Wonderful.
Dan? Great. You're good to hear. Hey, I don't think I need to tell you guys you're fairly intelligent. Well, yeah, you guys are both very intelligent in terms of what you're talking about. But one thing, when you talk about unions, let's make sure we differentiate between the two, public sector, private sector, okay?
Right.
Now, I have a lot of people, believe it or not, that are in unions, right? Private sector unions. And they have to actually market their membership. They don't get a hand fed to them like the government unions do, right? They need to actually say, look, join our union, we'll take care of benefits, blah, blah, blah. You guys already know all that, right? So I always like to point out to people when they're bashing the unions to make sure they're talking about the right union, the public sector.
Exactly.
Right?
I agree with you 100%.
Before you hang up on Tony, I want to ask Tony a question because I always love this. See, I too was in the beginning echelon of union work, have been in and out of different businesses. But here's my question. Which union offers the best to the highest producer? Which union lets the highest producer, let's say bricklayer, just for happenstance, which union pays that bricklayer who wants to work exceedingly hard more?
Give it to me.
None. None. All a union does is keep mediocrity.
What was your job with the union? You used to kneecap people, right?
No,
And
please.
then
And then here's the other thing, Tony. How does that union echelon make their money? You know, those guys who are business agents, you know, the guys in the Roadmaster tooling around smoking the $10 cigars. How do they make their money? Who pays them?
Well, they're union dues. Absolutely,
exactly.
Yeah. Well,
So then they hold the position to the guy who gives the envelope. Are you going to tell me you're unaware of the envelope?
Oh, gosh, no.
Okay.
No.
So now you're going to come and promote that as an actual union of organized labor? That's an extortion racket.
Well, that part is right. You are correct on that. But what I wanted to kind of get to the point was why you see more union members moving away from the Democrat Party.
Of course, because they've been abandoned by the Democrats. Yes.
Not necessarily that. It's because they're always being chastised and thrown in that big lump of union, and they're like, you know what? It's I get it because a lot of my guys that I know, they're not fans of public sector unions at all either.
Right,
So
I agree.
they
The
get
private's
it.
just
They
as
get it.
bad. It's a horse of a
No,
different color. And
there's-
instead of
there's
rise up
good and bad.
against what's
Thanks,
wrong,
Tony. Thank you,
instead
Tony.
of rise up against what's wrong, they want the politicians to capitulate to them. They're not asking for a fix of what's wrong.
We're not
Just
going to
adjust
settle
and
this.
pay me.
We're not going to settle this
Facade
before the
economics.
news. Let's go to Tricia in Lowell, Indiana. Good morning, Tricia.
Good morning, gentlemen. I'm a first-time caller, period, for any talk show, but I just want to tell you how much I enjoy listening to you two in the morning. And Sean, I know you've made it in showbiz, but you have to continue to keep calling in.
All
Don't
right.
stop.
You got it, Tricia. Don't worry. I can't help myself. I'm an
Remember
addict.
his roots,
Yeah,
which
I'm
are
an addict.
blonde, I believe. Thanks so much, Tricia. We
All right.
appreciate the call, Tricia. All right, let's go to Chris very quickly from Aurora. Hello, Chris.
Sean, I have the answer that you just asked for the bricklayer question, and the answer is this: if you have a company that does good because their guys are good in the private sector, then that company is going to continue to get rewarded work because they are good at what they do. In essence, they are getting paid more because they get more money by more jobs that they get.
There is competition that way. It's not a monopoly like the public
The
sector
owner of
unions.
the-
Good point,
I can
Chris.
tell you right now that I am a testament to that. Not in the bricklayer union. I'm in a different.
Oh,
We lost Chris.
For being good,
Oh,
good
okay.
at what they do. They're good at what they do. So then I continue to get more work, and then I'm able to the fruits of my own benefit.
Chris, I agree. Thank you. Vote for me.
It's
Yeah,
more
don't
rumor-
alienate all the union
I'm not
members.
alienating. I'm pointing out the hypocrisy of
All
it
right.
because what he's trying to say is that through the expansion of more jobs, they keep working more steadily, which means they don't all go on unemployment like they're trained
Look,
to
there's
do
competition
by the union.
in the private sector. You get one business
But
competing against
think of
another,
the
so the
owner.
unions do compete.
Think of the owner who cannot work due to the arduous break schedule, the arduous overtime. Think of why be an owner when all of those jobs lead to less wealth for you.
Listen,
And
you know-
not to mention Illinois
have you heard-
taxation on the
have you
on
heard
the
of a guy
labor.
named Ricketts, the old man? He had this newspaper or this online publication
made
called
his-
DNA Info.
Made his
They
money-
tried to unionize. He shut down the whole thing.
because he made his money through Ameritrade. He didn't need it.
There we go.
But when you need it, when you're a bricklayer, when you're trying to get on your own, you're crippled by these guys.
Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson, we will move on to, we've settled this. We'll move on to, I don't want to talk tariffs. Oh, no. Supreme Court,
Let's not-
Scott Pruitt, Trump's
Scott
speech
Pruitt,
last
I
night.
want to talk about that
We
Gina
will.
McCarthy.
Bruce Wolf, Sean Thompson in for Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560 The Answer.
The stories you need to know to start your day. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560 The Answer.
Well, passengers, as we approach Chicago, look out your windows and you may see some of the area's most treasured landmarks. That's right, the forest preserves of Cook County. 70,000 acres of green space. They're fun to explore and they help reduce flooding and improve air quality. Oh, and the city looks nice too.
To learn more, visit fpdcc.com, sponsored by the Forest Preserves of Cook County and aired in cooperation with the Illinois Broadcasters Association and this station.
Your daughter's wedding is one of the proudest moments of your life, a moment you and your family will treasure for the rest of your lives. As the months of planning start to unfold and you get closer to the special day, things can get a bit hectic. So many important details. To capture these once-in-a-lifetime memories and not have to worry about anything but the celebration, trust Artland Photography for every precious moment. At Artland Photography, it's all about you. No matter what your style, their photographers have the skill and experience to capture the moments quickly and stay out of the way. They'll make it easy to enjoy all of the smiles, laughter, and tears to enjoy for generations. Visit them at artland.com, where you can see their amazing work and outstanding reviews for yourself. Plus, learn about a special limited time offer. You'll know why Artland Photography has been Wedding Wire's couple's choice for the last 5 years. They also shoot everything from major corporate events to business and family portraits. Visit artland.com. It's all about you.
AM 560 The Answer.
All right, coming up after the news, a
You have no
cloture
idea.
vote against the filibuster by Sean Thompson.
Winging it with Sean and Bruce.
Now let's go to the newsroom and, let me guess who's in there. Chet Huntley, David Brinkley.
Not bad.
In my
Tom-
dreams.
Yes,
Gentlemen. I just want the salary. What can I tell
There you go.
Happy Friday.
Me too.
Bruce, Sean, good morning. Fair 70 degrees in Chicago at 5:30 on AM 560 The Answer. Tom Beck in for Mike Scott. Tit for tat today between China and the U.S. Trump administration put tariffs on Chinese products worth $34 billion. China's retaliating with tariffs on $34 billion worth of U.S. goods, including agricultural products, SUVs, meat, and seafood. China says the U.S. has started the biggest trade war in economic history. After a number of ethics scandals, Scott Pruitt is out as head of the EPA. President Trump says he's accepted Pruitt's resignation, but added Pruitt has done an outstanding job. He named a former coal lobbyist as interim director. Efforts continue to rescue a boys' soccer team and their coach from that flooded cave in Thailand. A diver recently died from lack of oxygen while trying to take supplies to the team. Police say domestic murder-suicide is suspected in the deaths of a man and a 5-year-old girl in Chicago's Douglas Park neighborhood. The relationship of the two is not yet known. Yesterday, storms brought street flooding to Chicago and damage throughout the area, including in Bedford Park, where winds tore off part of a warehouse roof and knocked over a semi. Naperville's Ribfest was temporarily shut down twice due to storms. Mercer is the 30th Illinois county to declare itself a sanctuary for gun owners. Top Indiana Republicans, including the governor, are asking State Attorney General Curtis Hill to resign. 4 women, including a state lawmaker, have brought complaints saying he inappropriately grabbed or touched them. Sports. Cubs begin a 3-game series with the Reds at Wrigley this afternoon. Astros beat the White Sox 4-3. News, the service of Compassion International. You can't change the whole world, but you can be part of the change in the world for a child living in poverty by becoming a Compassion International child sponsor. You can choose a child to sponsor now at compassion.com/radio. That's compassion.com/radio. AM 560 News Times 5:32. How bad's the traffic? We'll have the answer in 2 minutes on AM 560. The Answer.
Mike Gallagher sees a win for the Republicans in November if we take some advice.
With this new era of confrontation that seems justified by a lot of people on the left. Here's what I'm concerned about. I'll be very blunt. I don't want us to be like them. As long as we're not like them, we're going to beat them where it counts, and that's on November 6th.
The Mike Gallagher Show, weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas, best beans, best roast, best coffee.
Make your home an ADT home and help protect against break-ins, fire, and carbon monoxide. Get our lowest rate for fast response monitoring, starting at just $28.99 a month. That's about $1 a day from the most trusted name in home security. Get ADT's tested, trusted, and proven security and service, now at a great value. Don't wait. Call today. ADT. Always there. Now everywhere. Requires 36-month monitoring contract. Early termination, taxes, and install fees apply. Certain markets excluded. See terms and pricing at ADT.com.
Today, business happens here, and virtually anywhere. Because today, innovative companies are reinventing the way business happens, and they need people who can keep up. With the expertise and technology to get packages to over 150 million delivery points. So, who can help you deliver the future of commerce? The United States Postal Service. See why we deliver more e-commerce packages to homes than anyone at USPS.com/future.
At 5:34, checking roads from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Kevin.
Tom, no complaints on the Edens. 19 minutes between Lake Cook and the Kennedy. Kennedy itself, 20 to and from the airport, 10 to and from the Edens, and wide open 8 in the inbound express lanes. The Ike to and from Opa 390, that's at 29 minutes, 16 to and from Manheim. Stevenson inbound, starting to see a little bit of a delay building Pulaski to Kedzie. Give yourself 35 from 355 up to Lakeshore Drive, 25 from the Tri-State. Inbound Ryan taking you 16, just slow from Roosevelt in, and the outbound side, ramp from 87th remains closed for construction for another half hour or so. Tollways moving well. Traffic is a service of Positive Coaching Alliance. Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Kevin Henry on AM 560, The Answer.
Kevin, thanks. More of Chicago's Morning Answer comes your way next. Now, your official Chicagoland forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Mostly sunny and cooler, a high 78. Saturday sunny, high 81. Sunday mostly sunny, high 86. Right now it's fair, 70 at O'Hare, 71 at Midway, 68 along Chicago's lakefront. Next news update comes your way at 6 o'clock. Continuous coverage of the latest news, traffic and weather at 560theanswer.com. Now, more of Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
Watch today's show live right now on the Income Store live video stream at 560theanswer.com.
If you're looking for the latest news, insight into what it means, and the sharpest opinion, there's only one station in Chicago where you can turn, and it's this one. We're AM 560, The Answer.
Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy, and now it's time for animal stories. Little Sean, you got a story for us about animals?
Listen, finally a little justice.
Okay.
You know, I have to tell you, earlier in the week, that the lady in the size 16 Levi's that shot the giraffe, the rare giraffe in Africa, did you see this?
I did not see
Trollop.
that one. Okay.
What's more despicable? Poor giraffe minding his own business. Right. Some wide-hipped old lady from Alabama shoots you from 1,000 yards away. Ooh, what a hunter. Do you see this old bag with the black rhino? She killed the black rhino. I've been disgusted since the story. Okay. So the guys are two guys here with bad hairdos. Hand me a story.
You just made her sympathetic.
You
realize that? She's got a Me Too hashtag.
Hopefully her husband stayed at home for a little peace and quiet. Anyway.
What's this story?
2 rhinoceros poachers were eaten by lions in South Africa. Finally, little justice for the animals. So, sure enough, they have one guy missing, one of those guys who sends you an email that you had a relative in South Africa who died. They're trying to scam you, bank scam. His name is like Masku Dejing or whatever his name is.
But it really happened.
They found 3 pairs of gloves, 3 shoes, and 1 axe, and that's it.
That's it.
And the bones.
They picked. So the animals those lions are picky. They don't eat the garnish. The clothes.
I love it.
Now I do have to. This is just in. I saw it on Twitter. The UN Human Rights Council has censured the lions for a disproportionate response to the poachers. So
the only thing that annoys me more than the people that hunt are the eco-Nazis. So I'm torn because I don't like either side of that argument.
Now, there is an argument for, you know what the argument is for big game hunting. The big game hunters pay money so that these preserves can be kept because it's tough to fund them, so they are allowed to bag a few
My argument,
lions.
I'm an old fan. You remember when we were kids, they had Tarzan on in the morning with the loincloth. I don't mind hunting. You do it like Tarzan. I want you to go after him with a bowie knife. Now let's see how you do, tough guy.
Make it equal.
But some old bag, some sexually frustrated housewife from 1,000 yards away picking off a rare giraffe, that's not hunting, that's murder. Yeah. So I'm torn on the issue.
Agree.
You know what I mean? These issues are complex.
Where do you fall? Give us a call, ladies and gentlemen, 312-642-5600. Where do you fall? Which side do you fall on the Bambi issue?
You know what I mean, Bruce? You want to strap on a loincloth and go jump tree to tree with a bowie knife? Go hunt. That's hunting.
There we go. Now, here's the story. I think Jim Jordan is in trouble.
Loincloth in the men's room?
Yeah, speaking of
Hassert style?
Now, here's the problem. Jim Jordan, whom we love because he's part of the 4 horsemen who are fighting to derail the FBI, and he's doing a great job. He and Trey Gowdy and Meadows.
Congressman
and
with a
Nunes.
cauliflower ear, not from a peep show?
And I love the guy, because he never wears a sport coat or a suit coat. He's a shirt sleeves guy. But he was an assistant wrestling coach at Ohio State, I guess in the 90s. And, of course, there's this scandal. We find out that the Ohio State wrestling team doctor apparently molested a number of wrestlers, and a lot of the wrestlers are saying that Jim Jordan knew about this and didn't do anything about it. Jordan is denying that he knew about it. Now, here's where we get even into fake news from our guys, the Daily Caller, for example. The Daily Caller really wrecked the credibility of a couple of the accusers of Jim Jordan, because one of the guys apparently has committed fraud. He's always on the make. Okay, fine. The problem is there's if you follow this, there's a man named Sean Daly who was on the wrestling team, who's a Jim Jordan fan. He's a Republican. He seems to be respected. He says Jordan knew about it. Daily Caller hasn't written about that. So that's why I think Jim Jordan may be in trouble right now, and I hate to see that because he's done yeoman-like work on the FBI, and there is media bias because NBC News will do big stories about how Jim Jordan didn't do anything about alleged molester was the Joe Paterno of this situation in the 90s. but how much will they do about this very good work that the Nunez and company are doing with regard to the FBI?
So you're really speculating on what you think he knew.
Well, he's denied that he knew it. There is a witness right now who says, no, Jim Jordan didn't know about this stuff and didn't say anything.
Ooh, boy, these are tough. These are tough issues. You know what I mean? Because here's the thing.
It's okay to say I don't know.
Let's say there was a consenting relationship.
There was no consent. You're
But I
assuming
understand.
facts not in evidence.
Well, isn't this
Pardon
whole
my
thing
Dan
assuming
Proft. What?
facts that are not in evidence?
We're
We're assuming he knew and that he knew it was nefarious.
I'm not assuming. There is evidence right now that he did know because you have the testimony of this guy, Sean Daly, one of the wrestlers, who said Jim Jordan was there. We used to talk
But
about
these
it
are-
all the time, and he didn't do anything.
These are adults, right? These are college adults. This isn't the same as that gymnastics scumbag doctor that molested the young girls.
What these were college adults too.
Well, those
the young girls
tho-
were
no,
college
they,
adults.
No, they
weren't
weren't. They were young. They were as young as 12 years old.
Okay, you're right. You're right.
Wow, there we go. Do me a favor. Cut that right there. And I just want to hear that all the time.
But weren't
So-
they also college
So
students?
my thing is
Wasn't
this.
he the team doctor for Michigan State too?
I don't know. He might have floated around. He was a sick son of a gun. But my issue is these are young men that are 18 years old. You know, being from the neighborhood
It's
I'm
still
from,
pretty young.
you're going to let some guy. I'm in the shower.
You're right, you don't
I
let-
see some guy enjoying himself at my expense.
Wait a minute. Are you saying that Joe Paterno? Well, Jerry Sandusky ran a camp for young kids. For
Why
young kids.
why
Right,
three
you're
guys
right.
didn't beat the hell out of Sandusky and give him that Indian treatment where you tear the two trees
Right.
down, you tie a leg
No.
to each and let it go?
Look, there's a continuum here. Certainly, you know, when you're 18, 19 years old, you're more responsible for what happens to you in the shower than when you're 10. But that doesn't mean you're totally responsible, and that doesn't mean that a team doctor can't take advantage of you. And, yeah, Jim Jordan didn't do any
He does.
molesting. But
You
this
know-
is going to hurt Jim Jordan. It's going to hurt our cause. And, you know, they go after us. They go after Scott Pruitt.
We were
They
men
go
at
after Jim
teenagers.
Jordan.
Wait a minute, though. We're men at teenagers.
Some of us, well, in the old days, people would get married when they're 19 or 20, but now we have people that don't get married
Let's
until
go into
they're
the
in their
South
40s.
Water Market loading trucks at 14. I'm going to let some guy grab me? What are you, out of your mind?
In the old days, we
Either
were,
I die or he dies, but somebody's going to the emergency room.
nobody's a man anymore.
Come on. Handle yourself.
Think of the movies. Robert Mitchum with a deep voice.
look at Robert
Dean
Mitchum
Jagger with a deep voice. Now you got Leonardo DiCaprio. So there are no men anymore. We're the last two men
That's
here.
it.
We do animal
Well,
stories.
certainly isn't the
Little
kid with his
Tommy.
mother's sweater on in the other room.
Speaking of no men anymore, and there's no people anymore. Did you see where the millennials, that lifeguards are getting older? They're using older women as lifeguards now because no millennials are available to be lifeguards. There's no
noticed this-
millennials.
I got to tell you something. A little inside scoop. My daughter could have been a lifeguard. You know, and I love her to death, but she's truly a Kardashian wannabe. She just prances around. I'm like, listen, you know, why don't you go? Dad, you know, I don't want it. I'm going to get sunburned. Be out there all day. What am I going to do? And you want to know how what a terrible
Why
parent
didn't you
I am?
make her be
At
a
that
lifeguard?
moment, it made sense to me. I'm like, yeah, forget it.
Because dads are
I'm the
always
worst.
suckers
I'm
for
the
their daughters.
worst.
I'm a total sucker for my
Oh,
daughters. I've got all these principles.
Really, I'm the worst parent
in
in the world.
theory,
Yeah, me too.
I'm really good. I'm going to lay down the law.
Yeah,
and
you'll
then
do it my
meanwhile,
way. Give me
you know,
$20 and I'm
Meanwhile,
reaching in my
everybody's
phone.
doing things behind my back, and don't let Dad know. And that's the way
Look
it
at
is.
yesterday with the Uber. I was all upset. $57. I'm yelling $57
Your daughter,
on an Uber.
your
She's
daughter
like,
had a $57 Uber ride.
Yeah, and I said, you know, 50. What could possibly? And she's like, well, Dad, we were at Navy Pier, and I was scared. I wanted to come home. All right, you could have been
Always
250.
an
Fine,
excuse.
okay, come on home.
Wait till they get. Your daughters are younger right now.
Oh.
Wait till they get into their 30s
Oh,
and
no.
start admitting, confessing to all the things that they did behind your back or right in front of your face
No.
that you didn't realize.
That's why.
Oh yeah,
That's why.
that's
Just
fine.
I'm looking forward to marriage, and I figured out why dads pay for daughters. Take her out of the house. I'll throw in a Buick. Get her out of the house, and then don't call me. Just bring the grandkid around, right?
That's why there
until
are
he annoys me, then take him away. That's all I want.
That's why there are dowries. There's a reason for that. Okay, Is that you're part right. of the You're marriage contract nowadays? Why aren't there dowries? There should absolutely be them. All right. Oh, we've got let's take a call right now from Danny. Danny, Mount Prospect. Good morning.
Good morning. Little critical thinking. If they knew that he knew, then they knew. So what did they do?
Wait a minute. Your pronoun antecedents
Oh, I like
are
it.
are
No,
killing
no,
me.
it's early, but I'm up on Starbucks coffee. I
Danny-
followed her.
All right, Danny. didn't follow.
She's
you.
right. Why
Well-
are you blaming Jim Jordan if you knew? Why didn't you say something, lowlife?
Because Jim Jordan was the assistant coach. He was in a supervisory capacity. He wasn't one of the kids.
And you were
Danny.
just a witness? Come on.
Danny, if you knew the
Danny's
voodoo
right.
that I do. Thank you. Thank you, Danny. Let's go to Bob from Villa Park. Good morning, Bob.
Yeah. If I the only one who sees the irony in molesting a wrestler, aren't these guys used to roll around on mats touching each other?
All right,
Yeah,
all right,
but it's
Bob. Come on.
It's that thin layer of nylon that makes it heterosexual.
All right. Holly from Hudson. Good morning, Holly.
Good morning, boys. Oh gosh, how much fun is this? You know, when Dan comes back, he likes to make fun. When I call in, I tell him how much I enjoyed both of you, and he makes fun of you as being the kids swim, family
Guy
swim.
in footy pajamas making fun of me.
He's right about
Right.
that. He's
Well,
the
he
adult
says
in the
he-
room. The guy who's 25 years my junior is my dad. Okay.
Okay, but then
is.
you remember when you were at the pool when you were a kid, and they ring that bell, and it's only Adult Swim, and everybody goes, yuck. you
And
know,
speaking of
kids
Adult
warm.
Swim, Holly, how about this story? Lifeguards are older women right now. I mean, you, a woman in your late 30s right now, could probably be a lifeguard because there are no millennials available anymore. No,
Well, I'll
people,
tell you why I could not be a lifeguard, and it's because Sean is absolutely, Sean, you are right about so many things, and I'm not just saying that because you let me sit at your table when we go to stuff in Chicago. You brought up a great point about these are college kids. These are 18-year-old, 19, 20, 21-year-old men, and you're absolutely right. If somebody's doing something in the shower they don't like, they need to kick his butt.
Yeah, you got to run to
And-
the coach. Oh, save me. I mean,
Right,
tell you,
and-
it's just
all
a
right,
crazy
Holly will
society.
make a 20% contributory negligence on the part of the kids, but it's still 80%. Jim
but
Jordan's. No.
Here's the story. Okay, and let me just tell you this quick story because I think there is a place in our society for bullies. I'm not talking about mean, brutal bullies. I'm talking about the time my son announced at dinner that one of his friends had made fun of him at lunch for his lunchbox. We
Mm-hmm.
howled with laughter. I said, "Are you kidding me? You have the guts to
All right,
whine
I get
about
that, but there is a difference, I would say, with all due respect, between what you just said and a team doctor molesting you in the shower. There's a difference.
When you're 19, and now they do have power over you.
I mean, I don't mind
And
a
if you're
rat.
from a good neighborhood, it's when you're 14.
It's okay if the
Don't
guy
let somebody touch you, for God's
If
sake.
the guy snaps a towel, that's fine. But thank you, Holly. Thank you so much.
I love-
Thank you. Oh, sorry, cut you off right
right
there.
when she was loving
All
us.
She was, and we cut her off in the middle of "I love you guys."
All right.
We're horrible.
That's all right.
All right, Bruce
meant
Wolf and
me.
Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy on AM 560. The Answer. Okay, you're right. You're right.
You've made the switch, and it feels so good. You've switched to Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
All right, now I'm going to read this, but I think it's wrong again. Today, sunny with a high near 77. I say 82. You want a little action on it, Wolf? Yeah, I didn't think so. Northeast wind 10 to 15 miles an hour with gusts as high as 20.
I think 77, according
Now
to
we're
my
doing mile
iPhone.
per hour wind. Okay, let's bet on that too. Tonight, clear with a low around 59. Northeast wind 5 to 10 miles an hour. Look at this, like we're flying kites. All right, Saturday, sunny with a high near 81. Oh, look, we're going to continue with the wind direction. East-southeast wind for all of you rich guys with sailboats, around 5 miles an hour. Now we're going to go to Kevin Henry. Which way are the boats going?
Sean, the Ryan Express lanes have a crash earlier at 31st Street. Some heavy delays back to 47th. Over in the local lanes, you're slow from 35th in. Give yourself 22 minutes there. The outbound side still have that off-ramp, the on-ramp from 87th closed until 6 a.m. from the overnight roadwork. Elsewhere, very quiet. No Edens or Kennedy delays. Ike inbound, just a little slow first to Des Plaines, Damon to the Burn. 32 minutes from 390 to downtown, 19 from Manheim. Bound to clear 29. The inbound Stevenson, pockets from Central to Kedzie, Ashland to the Ryan, 38 minutes from 355 and 28 from the Tri-State. I-57, the Ford checking in with no problems. Lakeshore Drive is looking good, as are your Illinois tollways, I-80, and the roads in and out of Indiana. I'm Kevin Henry in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
On AM 560 The Answer, we talk about the important issues that affect your world. Things like the economy, education, and foreign policy. There's always so much going on in the news that we don't always have the time to focus in. and talk about the big ideas behind the important issues. Enter Upstream Ideas online at upstream-ideas.com. Upstream Ideas, in partnership with the Illinois Opportunity Project, provides the kind of information that informs the policy discussions happening here on AM 560. At Upstream Ideas, you'll broaden the debate, move beyond partisan assumptions, and challenge accepted beliefs. Upstream Ideas goes against the current and thinks upstream. Go online now at upstream-ideas.com. That's upstream-ideas.com. You'll be armed with new information and fresh perspectives to help encourage you to make the state of Illinois and the United States of America a bit freer, a bit more just, and a bit more civilized. Upstream-ideas.com.
This Saturday, NASCAR returns to NBC with Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of changes over the years. The cars have changed, the faces have changed. What I love seeing the most is all the stuff that stays true through it all. You still got the up-and-comers.
Kyle Larson out in front of
the hard chargers.
Kevin Harvick.
Oh, yeah, and you still got me to deal with every week.
NASCAR, live from Daytona, Saturday night, 7 Eastern, only on NBC.
Is credit card debt ruining your life? Now you can have a large portion of your credit card debt forgiven. Get Relief Today wants to give you free information that shows you how. This program is proven to work for credit card debt, medical bills, and department store debt. We'll give you the secret to this money-saving program absolutely free. 800-207-8558. That's 800-207-8558. That's 800-207-8558.
Everything you do is for your family. The long hours you work are to give them the most comfortable life possible. But as a commercial driver, you're constantly missing milestone events and quality time. It doesn't have to be that way. As a regional carrier, Romar Transportation delivers intermodal loads and imports and exports from their transactional warehouse. This means you can tuck your kids into bed and kiss your wife goodnight. You don't need to sacrifice your lifestyle. Romar offers weekly pay, safety, and sign-up bonuses. With competitive health benefits, 401k, and vacation time, Romar allows you to live and work, not work to live. Call 773-376-8800 to apply today. Romar is also hiring independent contractors. Before it was mandated, Romar made sure to be ELD compliant. You shouldn't have to worry about jeopardizing your license when you're delivering. Romar wants you to enjoy the open road and earn a healthy living. Call 773-376-8800 to apply today. Romar Transportation Logical Logistics.
Is your home ready for the summer? Do you have ugly green and black stains on your home? Spray and Forget, the original no-rinse exterior cleaner, eliminates these ugly stains caused by mold, mildew, and algae. Spray and Forget brilliantly cleans roofs, decks, siding, fencing, walkways, driveways, outdoor furniture, and more. Remove stains up to 50% faster than competing no-rinse cleaners. Make your home and outdoor living spaces brilliant again. Look for the yellow label at participating Ace, Home Depot, True Value, and Do It Best stores.
I'm Amy Errett, founder and CEO of Madison Reed, a company that's revolutionizing the way women color their hair, a company I named after my daughter. Madison Reed is the ultimate hair color hack. The quality of a salon, the convenience and affordability of at-home hair color, and an ammonia-free formula with ingredients you could feel good about. Find your perfect shade at madison-reed.com and get 10% off plus free shipping on your first purchase. Use code TOP.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule. Thousands of doctors, health specialists, and professionals recommend Balance of Nature as a way of improving their health. Listen to a few unsolicited success stories from doctors that not only recommend it, but use Balance of Nature as well.
In my practice, I was getting to the point where I couldn't have the strength to see that many patients anymore. I was diagnosed with sarcoidosis. It really affected my breathing and the strength that I had. And I was introduced to the fruits and veggies. Just slowly, my strength started to come back. And it was because of the good nutrition. I can't say enough good for Balance of Nature and what it's done for me. I recommend it to everybody.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Hey, nothing says summer like the smell of a grill, a delicious handcrafted burger, and a cold beer or cocktail
The Country House has been providing just that for over 40 years. Their 3 great locations in Lisle, Clarendon Hills, and Geneva offers great hospitality in a casual neighborhood setting. Try their award-winning Country Burger, half pound of fresh chuck, grilled to perfection and served on dark rye. Country House has several other choices for burgers like bison, elk, turkey, and veggie, and their top drawer burger blends short rib, chuck, and brisket for an unmatched taste. Take your time looking over the daily specials while you enjoy the spacious deck in Geneva or hang out on the patio in Lisle. And don't forget to join the House Rewards program at Country House and earn points while you dine. All new signups will be entered into a drawing for tickets to see the Northsiders versus the Southsiders. Country House. Visit burger1.com. That's burgerone.com.
A storm is on the horizon, and you need to keep the lights on no matter what. Your business relies on the power being on 24/7. It's the lifeblood of your data and computer systems. Weather-related outages from the power company are not acceptable. Your need for a source of power that's reliable 24/7, along with round-the-clock service that can dispatch technicians to your site immediately, is mission critical. Your business needs Charles Equipment Energy Systems on speed dial. These are the big boys, not residential or solar, but reliable industrial generators for emergency backup or events. When you need more than a 100-foot extension cord plugged into a small engine generator, call Charles Equipment Energy Systems. They keep the lights on with rental generators for job sites or power outages. The storm season is here. Plan ahead. Call now to prepare generators for sudden damage and potential power outages. Call 630-834-6000. That's 630-834-6000 or charlesequipment.com. charlesequipment.com.
At 5:57, checking roads from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Kevin.
Thanks, Tom. Edens and Kennedy moving well still. The inbound Eisenhower a pocket first to Des Plaines and Damon to the Burn interchange. 390 in takes you 32 minutes, 19 from Manheim. Outbound side is clear. Stevenson in, slowing from Central to Kedzie. Tap of the brakes as well. Ashland to the Ryan, 38 in from 355, 28 from the Tri-State. Outbound, no problems. On the inbound Ryan Express side, heavy from 47th to past 31st from an earlier accident. The locals, you're slow from 35th in. 22 minutes from 95th Street. Outbound side clear 15. I-57 and the Ford are both looking good as well. Traffic is a service of Positive Coaching Alliance. Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Kevin Henry on AM 560, The Answer.
Kevin, thanks. Now your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1-Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Here's meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Today mostly sunny with a refreshing breeze. High 79. Clear night, low 60. Tomorrow sunny, high 82. And a clear night, low 63. Full day of sunshine for Sunday, high 87. I'm Kevin Snyder for AM 560, The Answer.
Right now it's fair. 70 degrees at O'Hare, 71 at Midway, and 68 along Chicago's lakefront. AM 560 News Times, 5:58. In the news, a man and a 5-year-old girl are dead in a possible case of domestic murder-suicide in Chicago's Douglas Park neighborhood. Police say firefighters discovered their bodies last night while battling a blaze in a building in the 1600 block of South California. No word yet of the relationship between the two. It'll be a day of repair and cleanup for some following yesterday's severe thunderstorms. Strong winds tore apart of a roof of a warehouse in Bedford Park and pushed over a semi. ABC 7 reports Naperville's Ribfest was temporarily shut down twice yesterday due to separate storms. Some concession booths and tents were knocked over by strong winds.
There wasn't too much damage. You know, our fire's okay, all our banners are okay. As soon as we get the all clear, we're just going to hang them right back up and get right back to business.
And then street flooding was reported in Chicago. There were power outages as well. 8 years in prison, the sentence for one of 4 defendants in the torture of a mentally ill disabled teenager. Jordan Hill of Carpentersville pled guilty to a hate crime. Defendants were all black. The victim was white. The torture was shown live on Facebook. 3 defendants are now sentenced. Sports. Cubs begin a 3-game series with the Reds at Wrigley this afternoon. News service of Unbound.org. Girl in El Salvador who dreams of becoming an engineer. Elder in Uganda. You can help folks at Unbound.org. This is WIND Chicago. Time for Fox.
More shots fired in a trade war. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. China has retaliated to new U.S. tariffs that went into effect after midnight. with tariffs of their own, reportedly targeting American goods from soybeans to pork to electric cars. Fox's Rachel Sutherland, live in Washington.
Dave, the tit-for-tat tariffs target $34 billion worth of goods as China accuses the U.S. of kicking off the largest-scale trade war ever. The president told reporters on his way to a campaign rally in Montana that an additional $500 billion in duties could be coming. The president later told supporters China has been treating the U.S. unfairly.
They've been killing us. $507 billion in trade deficits last year.
President Trump says tariffs on another $16 billion in Chinese goods are set to take effect in the next 2 weeks. Dave.
Regional Secretary of State Pompeo is in North Korea amid reports questioning the country's commitment to giving up nuclear weapons weeks after President Trump's Kim Jong-un meeting.
It was a very smart deal for North Korea. Goodwill is very important. But we signed a wonderful paper.
The president's rally last night was for a Republican trying to unseat a Democratic senator in Montana, saying a vote for John Tester is a vote for
the new leader of the Democrat Party, Maxine Waters.
He called the Congresswoman's IQ low. She's the one who urged supporters to harass Trump cabinet members. The Thai Navy SEAL commander now says they have a limited time to get 12 boys and their soccer coach out of the cave where they've been stranded. And to make things worse, an ex-SEAL volunteer diver died trying to supply oxygen bottles.
Our attempts to drill down to reach them are moving at a glacial pace. So it seems the only option at the moment is to bring them out by water. It does seem that rescuers are still attempting to bring them out safely either today or tomorrow.
That's Sky News' Sally Lockwood outside the cave. Fox News, fair and balanced.
As press secretary for President Trump, Sean Spicer had a front row seat to history. And in his new book, he reveals details about what really happened behind the scenes during the campaign and the early days of the administration. On Wednesday, August 8th, Sean Spicer is coming to Chicago. Meet Sean Spicer and get a copy of his new book, The Briefing, at the Museum of Broadcast Communications. Tickets are absolutely free. Thanks to healthinsurancementors.com. Get your tickets at 560theanswer.com/briefing. That's 560theanswer.com/briefing.
Make your home an ADT home and help protect against break-ins, fire, and carbon monoxide. Get our lowest rate for fast response monitoring, starting at just $28.99 a month. That's about $1 a day from the most trusted name in home security. Get ADT's tested, trusted, and proven security and service, now at a great value. Don't wait. Call today. ADT. Always there. Now everywhere. Requires 36-month monitoring contract. Early termination, taxes, and install fees apply. Certain markets excluded. See terms and pricing at ADT.com.
Now through July 6th, it's the Blinds.com 4th of July sale. Blinds.com is the easiest way to reimagine your home with brand new, made-to-order custom blinds. Plus, every order gets free samples, free shipping, and a free online design consultation. For a limited time, you could save up to 50%, plus take an additional 5% off at Blinds.com, promo code LIGHT. Hurry, this sale ends Friday, July 6th. Save up to 50%, plus take an additional 5% off at Blinds.com, promo code LIGHT.
This hourly segment is brought to you by In the Know with Wealth Management Group, hosted by Craig Bolanos. Heard Sunday mornings at 10.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Here's Stephen Moore. Right now on CNN.
Oh, Stephen Moore.
He's going to talk about how I dominated him in the interview.
Stephen Moore, we got these $34 billion that China's trying to penalize us with a trade war right now. But, I'm going to undermine my own principles, believing in Ricardo's theory of comparative advantage because I'm on the Trump team right now and I'm a total sellout. That's right, so am I, and I'm Larry Kudlow, and you were the best man at my wedding. Okay, enough with that. Econ talk.
I think we've got to just change it because you've got to point out the hypocrisy and the fact that the American people underwrite the foreign countries that we pretend we heard.
Well, there we go. And you know what? It doesn't bother me that Trump, and we heard on the news, the $34 billion that in tariffs. And Trump yesterday said, we've got a $507 billion trade deficit. That doesn't bother me, even though it doesn't make any economic sense that Trump said that last night. It doesn't bother me that he said that Putin is fine. That doesn't, even though Putin isn't fine. You know what bothered me was last night when he said, and I love the speech, and I voted for Trump, and I'll vote for him again. But what did bother me was he was mentioning that Foxconn is moving to Wisconsin. Okay.
Talk about subsidized.
Well, yeah, it's basically a bribe that Wisconsin is paying.
And then
to
look
get
at the
Foxconn.
numbers.
Okay, so here's the thing. So that triggered this sentiment from him.
But think of Wisconsin. Reagan had his big win. He won every state except one, the great state of Wisconsin. I won Wisconsin. First time since Dwight Eisenhower in 1952.
Now, here's the problem. Reagan won Wisconsin. So the great thing about Donald Trump is he says so many things that if this had been the only error, the left-wing media, the state-run media, would make a big deal out of this. But there's so many other things to talk about that they wouldn't even mention this. See, I know that Reagan won Wisconsin because the only state that he lost.
Minnesota.
Exactly, to Mondale in '84. And the only reason I remember that is that I had the pleasure/privilege of working once or twice with Eleanor Mondale on Chicago TV. She would substitute on this morning show that I was on.
Did you have your Cavarici pants on?
I always wanted to go up to her and say, you know, my dad only won one less state in the '84 election than your dad did, and my dad owns a hardware store. What's your dad's excuse?
I love it.
But Trump says these kinds of things, and nobody even is going to comment on it.
Because
even though
we're
he's
all
totally
extras in the shooting of Ford Fairlane 2. I mean, I love it. I love it.
And he looks like Dice Clay
in Ford Fairlane.
In Ford Fairlane.
You ever see the movie?
Hickory Dickory Dock.
It's the best. And the speech where he's making fun. I mean, it's fun. It's fun. I have to admit, it's fun and it's laughable. And at this time in society, I think he's the perfect fit.
When's the last time you heard somebody sounding this presidential?
We need to work every day from now until the election for your family, for your community, your country, for your Constitution. And this November, I need you to get your friends, get your colleagues, get your neighbors, and get your ass out to vote. Is that okay? Get your ass out to vote.
It's great.
This is idiocracy. It's beautiful.
But you know what it is, and it's fear and motive. Fear is a motivator, right? So notice. I mean, I remember first starting to pay attention to politics years and years ago. It was always the most important election of our time. It's always the most dangerous. It's the same spiel, man. Just keep waxing the same car, and it's going to look new every time.
You know what's interesting? See, I kind of know somewhat dangerous times. I mean, wasn't alive for World War II. That's really big. But I was alive during the Vietnam era when 50 to 60,000 Americans lost their lives.
Yeah.
We were actually in a war at that time.
800.
We're not in a war now.
I beg to differ. 800 military bases, $12.1 million per day in bombs. We are dropping 140 plus bombs per day. We just lost a soldier in Africa. Why? Who knows? We are in a war. Just the American people are too stupid or too ignorant to care.
But nobody's getting killed.
Of course they are. You just had a kid get killed last month in Africa, and they're not telling you why.
That's one person, and every life is precious.
You know why?
But that's different from 58,000.
No. Here's the beauty of deceit that happened in the Obama administration. Okay. We farmed it out, right? We hire mercenaries now.
Well, we have drones.
We have trillion-dollar contracts to political sycophants like DeVos's brother. Trillions. Do you know that it just came out, a month ago? Not even a month ago? The Pentagon has misplaced. Do you remember when Rumsfeld came out before September 11th? We misplaced $2.5 trillion.
That was a known unknown.
The day before September 11th, right?
Yeah, what does this have to do with people dying?
Now it came out $20 trillion they can't find. They don't know what they did.
Okay, so we lose money. We lose $1 trillion here,
My
$1 trillion
point
there.
is,
pretty soon it's
you
real
want
money.
The flea circus. And that's what this is. This is the big show. It's P.T. Barnum. It's great. Are you loving it? You better love it because God forbid you pay attention to what's really going on.
Now
You'll be disgusted.
Now listen to this soundbite from President Trump last night, which I thought was the ultimate in chutzpah. I don't think anybody noticed it. So on the day that Scott Pruitt resigns, all right, and let's face it, the dogs were out for him, and maybe it was justified to get rid of him because of the totality of the circumstances, all of these things, a death by 1,000 cuts, self-inflicted, as somebody said. But they went for Scott Pruitt because he's eviscerated the EPA, which deserves to be eviscerated. But but the leftists are going after him because they're the Greens. They want ecology, eco-Nazis to the nth degree. Well, now listen to Donald Trump, who wants a Scott Pruitt type. Listen to him talk about Montana, where he was in yesterday.
This state, the state of Montana, was forged by incredible pioneer men and women who braved the cold and tamed the wilderness to build a beautiful life right out here in the open. And I did look at those skies. You know, I heard so much about your skies. I heard so much about your skies. I rode in, I looked at those skies. Not seeing pollution is a wonderful thing.
So here's the thing. Trump loves that there's no pollution. Well, that's what the eco-freaks want. And yet he's trying to undermine the whole thing with a Scott Pruitt type, which I'm in favor of. But I just thought that was chutzpah, and I love it, President Trump.
The transgendering Gina McCarthy under the Obama administration was riddled with lies and spending scandals second to none. Misappropriation. The EPA, it's a fascinating organization. They have the power of writing law handed to several political sycophants. These are political hacks who are connected to the right party. This entire bureaucracy is inspired by the fact that whatever they fine individuals or companies, they keep 50% of for their own budget. Their budget is unprecedented. They live like Richie Rich, feet on the desk. They had the one guy who conned the EPA. Did you see this scandal? Another Democrat hat. Told him he was part of the CIA. He didn't show up for 2 years. 2 years, I'm on special mission.
And nobody noticed what happened during the Obama administration. And coming up at 7:35, I usually don't like to tease something an hour and a half ahead, but Julie Kelly, Orland Park's very own, who writes for American Greatness, used to write for National Review, writes for the Federalist, I think, as well.
What about the other guy who I like?
She has written about this extensively, about how nobody noticed anything that was going on with the EPA during the Obama administration, but now they had the knives out for Scott Pruitt, and you just mentioned it.
The opponent to the EPA, right, or the sometimes cohort when the Democrats are in charge, is the Sierra Club, another shill organization, tax cheat, where rich people write checks and they can hide their tax money, like the rest of us that go to work 50 different jobs. They get to have their and they got their own little champagne cocktail socialists in there, and they pretend how wonderfully environmental they are. The whole time using that office as a liaison, a lobby firm, to go after enemies of their own companies. Because if you look at the backdoor ownership of all of these other alternative companies, they're all the same hacks that are donating to the Sierra Club. It's one big extortion ring.
Remember when the head of Sierra Club was testifying before Congress, and he tried to utter that canard about 97% of the scientists being believing in global warming or global alarmism, and Ted Cruz just totally
the history
brought him down.
We've got 40 years of them trying to scam us, and we've got 40 years of them being wrong. Not on most of their predictions, on every one of the eco-Nazi global warming lying scoundrels.
Their computer models can't even correctly predict what is actually going on right now.
And then Al Gore, who's half the man of his ex-wife, he ends up making what, $200 million on this scam?
Right. Which is why it doesn't bother me so much when Trump is a little bit loose with his statistics and facts like this.
I said it the other day. Yes, she is a low IQ individual, Maxine Waters. I said it the other day. I mean, honestly, she's somewhere in the mid-60s, I believe.
Isn't mid-60s like moron status?
Well, she was smart enough. Morphodite. She was smart enough to make sure that in the first payments of TARP, her husband's bank was bailed out. Right? She's smart enough to sit in an office and become worth over $10, $15 million doing nothing.
How do they do that?
Inside, please. How do they do it? Because we are the ones yoked with the rules and tyranny. They circumvent it.
How does Rahm Emanuel waltz in and out of politics perfectly legally, steps out of politics for a minute, comes up with the gets the vigorish for midwifing the deal between Bruce Rauner and Bill Daley. Now Rauner supposedly, ostensibly, the enemy of Rahm Emanuel.
I think you're all wrong.
And he makes $15 million.
No.
How can I get in on this action?
I think he patented the little step stool that you see in the Hyatt for the midgets. I think that's how he made his money. He must have.
I call him Tiny Dancer.
Yeah.
That's. Did I coin that? I'm not sure. I can't remember. One of the geniuses around here. Did.
Listen, don't knock him because it's your shorts that look like capri pants on him. So don't knock him. He does serve a purpose.
Finally, I couldn't believe if Trump said it. I guess we can play it. But me being
Feel
very
dirty?
being very old school, I can't believe that he used this word in a presidential speech.
They go out and they make a gas deal, oil and gas from Russia, where they pay billions and billions of dollars to Russia. Okay? So they want to protect against Russia, yet they pay billions of dollars to Russia, and we're the schmucks that are paying for the whole thing.
I used to think that was kind of like a verboten word, but
you're
apparently
Jewish.
Exactly.
There you go.
Yeah, we say things like that to somebody.
It has a little more oomph
That's
to
an
it.
insult to it, element to it. I just, it bothered me. I'm very, very old school.
You get sensitive?
very,
What the hell's
very
wrong
old
with you?
school. All right, coming up, more verboten language. Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson.
To get it right.
In for Dan and Amy on AM 560, The Answer.
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
All right, I won't read the wind, but it's going to be a great day for kites. Sunny with a high near 77. I say 82. Let's see who's right. Tonight, clear, low around 59. Could fly your kite at night, too. Saturday, sunny with a high near 81. And the southeast wind around 5 knots for you sailors out there. Kevin Henry, are people back at work or are they drunk on vacation driving around?
Well, maybe a little bit of both. It's not horrible as of yet. You do have a tie-up on the inbound Ike, 9th to Des Plaines, pretty typical there. Damon to the Burn interchange, 32 from 390, 19 from Manheim. The inbound Stevenson, particularly heavy from Central to Kedzie and right at the Ryan Ramp. 46 minutes from 355 up to Lakeshore Drive, 36 from the Tri-State. The inbound Ryan is stopping and going from Canalport, 20 minutes from 95th. Edens and Kennedy, as of yet, looking good. The inbound express lanes wide open, but the locals are clear as well. So take your pick there. I-57 to Ford, both are okay. Lakeshore Drive clear in both directions. Grant Park closures in place on Congress, Jackson, and Columbus. Foretaste of Chicago setup. That closure extending south to Roosevelt this Saturday. I'm Kevin Henry in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule. Thousands of doctors, health specialists, and professionals recommend Balance of Nature as a way of improving their health. Listen to a few unsolicited success stories from doctors that not only recommend it, but use Balance of Nature as well.
I look at Balance of Nature and I look what it's doing for me as I've started taking it, and for the patients that I have that are taking it, it's been phenomenal watching the changes that have happened and how much healthier and how much more energy that they have. I haven't heard any negative feedback from any of my patients who have been taking the product. The thing that amazes me with it is that it's so simple.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Hey guys, Ken here from the Business Accelerator podcast, Today's Growth. If you had to choose a vehicle to take you up the rocky side of a mountain, would you choose a Ferrari or a Jeep? The Ferrari's faster, cooler, maybe even sexier, but if you have to get to the top, the Jeep's a better bet. I think we can agree getting to the top is not about the driver, it's the vehicle. Have you noticed people often pick their financial vehicle like they pick their cars? Washington Post shared that only 1 out of 4 people choose a job that uses their college degree. Why? Simple. Something more immediate, maybe cooler, maybe even sexier came along first. Shouldn't the main deciding factors for revenue generation be production or output? Should the cool factor have any weight in choosing someone's income? If getting to the top of the financial mountain is mission critical for you, why not add a few Jeeps to your garage? Could your household or business use an additional revenue model that makes it to the top every time? If so, you have to see the Jeeps lined up at IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
People have long associated the Ozinga name with concrete, but truth be told, Ozinga has always been on a quest to create a better world. We want to help you build your business so you can provide for your family, create better jobs, and build your community. It's why we constantly engineer better concrete, haul raw materials, and supply cleaner fuel. Together, we can positively impact the places where we live, work, and play throughout the Chicagoland area. To learn more, go to ozinga.com. That's OZINGA.com.
So, you're a truck driver, a clutch cowboy, a wrangler of the road. At Ozinga, you are exactly who we need. Concrete truck drivers. People who aren't afraid of a little adventure and hard work. If you're tired of monotony and are looking to build something that matters, then come build with us. At Ozinga, we are building our families, our communities, and our country. Apply online today at ozinga.com. That's OZINGA.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Bruce Wolf, Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy. Now, just this disclaimer. I voted for Trump. I'll probably vote for him again, and I've got two words, Brett Kavanaugh. That's the reason.
Really?
He's probably going to be the Supreme Court nominee.
That's not why
Although
you did it.
Ketledge, I guess, is the favorite. Well, the biggest reason was, as much as Trump gets me riled up, he gets the liberals riled up even more. But there was so much in his speech last night that we didn't even get to. For example, Charlie Gasparino tweeted that Trump was talking about anonymous sources and how fake they were, and Gasparino tweeted, well, Trump was one of Gasparino's anonymous sources. So
that wasn't my favorite. My favorite was the Elizabeth Warren.
I just, before you get to that, I was trying to set you up I was trying to tee it up for you on this, was that he then went on this non sequitur thing about Elton John having an organ and Trump not having an organ. I didn't quite follow that one. But yes, we totally missed the whole hunk about Elizabeth Warren. Please inform.
So Elizabeth Warren has claimed for years. I think she even was a teacher under the guise that she was a
Sure, she got a
Native
Harvard
American.
job,
Yeah, she's
in part because she claimed that she had she was 132nd
She looks like
Indian.
the Dutch boy on the Dutch boy paint can. She's obviously a liar. She's no more Indian. Come on.
I'm
It's
160. I'm
preposterous.
164th Chicago Blackhawk.
Sure you are.
Yes.
Why wouldn't you be, as long as there's a subsidy involved? So she's clearly a liar, right? I mean, we all know this. Anyone with an IQ over 60 knows it. Even the Democrat Chicago hack knows she's a liar.
Actually, just to put the evidence in a light most favorable to Elizabeth Warren, she does claim that somebody told her that she was
her nanny,
an American.
her gam
Okay.
gam. I mean, it's so you can't write this stuff.
Yes.
So you didn't, to me, there's an old thing in my neighborhood when you own a loan shark money and you don't pay. He gives you the Hobson's choice. You want me to take your thumb off or hit you in the foot with a ball peen hammer? You think about it. No one you can recover from the ball peen hammer, right?
Right.
So Trump's the hammer. I'll take the hammer to the inseam versus lose the thumb.
What did he do last night in his speech? I missed that. I must have. There was just such a blitz of information from the president last night that I missed the whole
He goes
Elizabeth
on
Warren hunk.
It's really good stuff because he falls off the teleprompter and what I picture is the behind the scenes people just praying he gets back on the teleprompter, and that's when he went to the crowd envy of Elton John. He goes off into this. I get
and
bigger
I know the guy who's running for
crowds than
Senate.
Elton John.
The guy who's running for Senate, whose name I forget right now, is
So did
thinking,
he.
could you please mention my name
Just say
before
my
the
name.
speech is
Just
over?
say my name, Donnie. You got him all riled up. He wouldn't deliver on the money shot, but that's all right. Really, those are the times where I sit back on the couch and I'm watching it with my Boston Terrier, who I love. Can't see anymore, can't hear, Mo. And I start laughing to myself like a buffoon. I'm in the room, I'm in the house all by myself. He's doing and then he pauses on Oregon where you're like, wait, where is he going with Oregon?
He didn't know where he was going.
And that's the fun part. He doesn't know where he's going. It's truly like watching. I didn't see Lenny Bruce.
Right.
It was more innuendo than actual raw, offensive stuff. And that's what I feel it was like.
So what happened with Elizabeth? What did he say about Elizabeth?
He said, I'll give her $1 million.
I got it if you want to hear it.
You got it?
We've
Yeah,
got it.
get
Let's hear it.
And in the middle of the debate, when she proclaims that she's of Indian heritage because her mother said she has high cheekbones. That's her only evidence, that her mother said she had high cheekbones. We will take that little kit and say, but we have to do it gently. Because we're in the Me Too generation, so we have to be very gentle.
So he's going to throw her the DNA kit.
And we will very gently take that kit and we will slowly toss it, hoping it doesn't hit her and injure her arm. Even though it only weighs probably 2 ounces.
I mean, you want to talk about sidetracked. I love it.
And we will say, I will give you $1 million to your favorite charity, paid for by Trump, if you take the test and it shows you're an Indian, you know.
Hey, hi-yo,
I love
hi-yo, hi-yo.
Because that's something we all want to say. The problem, and when you get into that cheerleading, pep rally stuff, you forget about what he's actually saying. Because what he says in that whole thing is, who are they going to love? Bernie Sanders. Who are they going to love? Elizabeth Warren. He goes through the litany of all the 70-year-old hacks. Because the reality is, as American citizens, these are our choices. You're going to get your different versions of these 70-year-old hacks.
Right. There are
on both sides.
The average age, for the Democratic leadership is septuagenarian. Here's the thing. While I agree with the president and I enjoy what he says, he's not as funny as he thinks he is.
I think he's more
not, the reason he's not, he's funny for a president. He's funny like if you're belching in church. He's funny like if you're a wise guy sportscaster on Channel 5. That's how he's funny, because it's all because he's doing it as the president of the United States. He's goofing on being the president.
We want a show.
Yes.
We that's the one thing society has proven itself. It wants a show. You want to pretend you got a team. You want to pretend you got your guy. You can discount all the other nonsense of 40 years of intermingled fraud and waste and abuse and lies and scams. We can discount it. We want a show. We want to be part of a team. And the reality is, when you let these lies that really affect our children's children, when we stop talking about the pertinent points that we used to call conservatives, it doesn't matter anymore. Just give me the show, and I like the same con job that we got under Obama, because that's all this is. That's all this is.
It's
That's
not
why the
the
debt doesn't
same
get talked about, the omnibus spending,
I
the
agree.
wars,
Look,
it's all.
look,
you just want to be entertained, baby.
Look, Dan Proft and I were at the 2012 Republican convention for Mitt Romney. We sat behind Mitt Romney when he spoke, and there was this auxiliary scoreboard up there, which had the national debt, the running score, the total, and I don't know what it was, $20 trillion at that point, getting close to it, and everybody was pointing to that. Ooh, the debt. Ooh, the debt. You know the problem with that? Did not resonate with the 9 million Obama voters who then turned away from Hillary and went to Donald Trump. They don't want to hear about that.
As a young kid, I was exposed to Eric Hoffer, who I love to death. I talk about him often, the longshoreman philosopher.
I
You
remember.
know Eric Hoffer?
Used to see him on
he wrote
CBS.
He wrote a
Yeah.
book called True Believer. And he wasn't formally educated, but he used to say, when you're brainwashed, what happens? You love what you hate and hate what you love. You're chanting against yourself. And that's what society is today. We're chanting against ourselves when we pretend we're winning.
I got 2 words for you. Amy Comey Barrett, which makes me sound like Joe Biden because it's 3 words. Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy on AM 560, The Answer.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
There's always that time of day when the sun creates havoc at the office.
This is ridiculous.
You're literally blinded by the light. Can't see a thing on your computer monitor and feel like you're baking in an oven. Make your office or storefront distraction-free with custom shades from 1-800-4BLINDS. You'll keep your customers comfortable, protect furnishings and decor from fading, and have happy, productive employees that don't have to stop in the middle of a project because of the glare. 1-800-4BLINDS can get the job done quickly with their local in-house installation crew. You'll save money on window treatments that not only look great, but will also help you shrink utility bills with special heat-reducing shades that can trap heat between the window and shade. They also offer custom painted solar shades with your logo or photo image printed directly on the shade. Get the sun out of your eyes. Call 1-800-4BLINDS direct for a consultation today. 773-447-5448 or visit 1-800-4BLINDSchicago.com. That's 1-800-4BLINDSchicago.com.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank.
It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Tom Goleb, Chief Financial Officer of Navitas Systems, a leader in the next generation of advanced battery technology and a customer of Signature Bank. A few years ago, I heard Signature Bank on an AM 560 radio ad, just as our previous commercial bank was being acquired. I knew Mick O'Rourke and Kevin Bastuga from a prior enterprise. I valued my relationship with them and the way they worked earned my trust and my business. So I decided to give Signature Bank a call. They took the time to understand our early-stage technology company that has its own set of challenges. Signature Bank took care of us, and now we are satisfied customers.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
AM 560, The Answer.
Hey, coming up at the top of the hour, we got Brett Baer.
I love Brett Baer because he knows what a 1985 Buick Riviera looks like, and he appreciates it.
He's also a golfer. So maybe we'll get some politics in there. Scott Pruitt and the like. Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy. And now let's go to the newsroom. And Tom Beck.
Bruce, Sean, thanks. Good morning. Fair, 69 degrees in Chicago at 6:31. On AM 560, The Answer. I'm Tom Beck, in for Mike Scott. Don't go in the water. National Weather Service says swimming in parts of Lake Michigan will be dangerous today due to high waves and rip currents. Chicago Tribune reports a beach hazard statement is warning folks to stay out of the water in Cook County as well as Lake and Porter counties in Indiana. All that follows yesterday's bad storms that tore through Chicagoland and resulted in some damage, including the roofs, along with some street flooding, power outages, and flight delays. Police say domestic murder-suicide is suspected in the deaths of a man and a 5-year-old girl in Chicago's Douglas Park neighborhood. Relationship of the two is not yet known. Quick retaliation from China for U.S. tariffs on its products. China announced the same amount of tariffs, $34 billion worth on U.S. goods, including agricultural products, SUVs, and meat. Scott Pruitt is out as head of the EPA after various ethics scandals. President Trump said he accepted Pruitt's resignation, but also said Pruitt did an outstanding job. The president named a former coal lobbyist as interim director. Efforts continue to rescue the boys' soccer team and their coach from a flooded cave in Thailand. A diver died from a lack of oxygen while trying to take supplies to the team. News is a service of Unbound.org. There's a girl in El Salvador who dreams of becoming an engineer. There's an elder in Uganda who dreams of having a community to call his own. No two dreams are the same. Help one person achieve theirs at Unbound.org. AM 560 news time is 6:32. How bad's the traffic? We'll have the answer in 2 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
Dennis Prager doesn't normally resort to name calling, but sometimes the shoe fits.
I hate calling people names, but it has come to the point where there are people on the left now so freely use Nazi that I think calling them an arrogant fool is somewhat mild, would you say, compared to Nazi?
The Dennis Prager Show. Weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
The power to save is in your hands. Snapshot from Progressive rewards your safe driving with discounts. Find out more at progressive.com.
What if you could enjoy total peace of mind when it comes to home security? What if the best technology came from a local company who puts the customer's needs first? Alarm Detection Systems is the right choice for an alarm system with complete control from your phone or tablet. Know when your children arrive home from school. View live streaming video. Check up on your pets. Receive alerts for extreme temperatures. Know if leaks or floods have been detected. Get real-time text alerts sent to your phone. Family-owned and operated since 1968, Alarm Detection Systems understands that nothing is more important than the safety of your family. Your security system will be monitored by our central station in Aurora, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Alarm Detection Systems is an authorized Honeywell equipment dealer. Our on-site security consultation is always free. Visit adsalarm.com or call 630-844-6322. That's 630-844-6322. Alarm license number 127000143.
At 6:34, checking roads from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Kevin.
Thanks, Tom. Quiet on the Edens. The Kennedy inbound starting to see delays building right around Addison. clearing up right now after Fullerton. 23 from the airport to downtown, 13 from the Junction Express. Save you some time at 8 minutes. Outbound is 20. Inbound on the Ike, tight from 9th to Des Plaines and California to the Burn Interchange. 390 in takes you 33 minutes, 20 from Manheim. Outbound on the brakes from Austin to Des Plaines, 18 to Manheim, 31 to 390. Inbound Stevenson is heaviest between Harlem and Kedzie, 50 from 355, 40 from the Tri-State. The inbound Ryan takes 22, jam from the Stevenson in. And the Tri-State northbound, your only tollway delay between 88 and 290. Traffic is a service of Aruba Tourism. Imagine if your daily commute was from your beach chair right to the crystal blue Caribbean Sea. It's time for an escape to sunny Aruba. Hop a daily nonstop flight from O'Hare to One Happy Island. Plan your Aruba vacation today at Aruba.com. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Kevin Henry on AM 560 The Answer.
Kevin, thanks. More of Chicago's Morning Answer comes your way next. Now your official Chicagoland forecast on the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center. Mostly sunny and cooler, high 78. Saturday sunny, a high 81. Sunday mostly sunny, high 86. Right now it's fair, 69 at O'Hare, 68 along Chicago's lakefront. Next news update comes your way at 7 o'clock. Continuous coverage of the latest news, traffic and weather at 560theanswer.com. Now more of Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
Don't forget that you can watch Chicago's Morning Answer on the Income Store live video stream every morning at 560theanswer.com.
The hypocrites scatter when I shine the bright light of reason. I'm Larry Elder. Join me tonight at 7 right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Little 38 special here on AM 560, The Answer, karaoke time.
See, can I tell you something that
see
annoys
it all around the world.
It annoys.
A good gloving gone bad. Okay.
I don't know the names of the bands. It's very frustrating.
I don't either.
I was too busy.
Some Jim Peterick band.
Yeah.
They're all the same. Journey, Ides of March, 38
All the kids
special.
look like George Michaels to me now. I can't figure out.
Not Journey. Something else. Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy. And we were going through Donald Trump's speech last night, which was a tour de force. And I enjoyed it. I mean, I voted for Trump. I'm voting for him again.
Stop sucking up.
I especially liked this part.
You know, all the rhetoric you used to hear, the 1,000 points of light. What the hell was that, by the way? 1,000 points of light. What did that mean? Does anyone know? I know one thing. Make America great again, we understand. Putting America first, we understand. 1,000 points of light. I never quite got that one. Try to.
So the thing is I remember that speech at the time, and I remember feeling the same way that Donald Trump does now. What the heck was George Bush talking about? Now, yesterday on Twitter, people took Trump to task because they said that they were making fun of a 94-year-old ex-president, George Bush, who had said, we're going to bring you 1,000 points of light. And apparently that speech or that phrase was about volunteerism. But I didn't remember that it was about volunteerism.
Well, it was about the compassionate conservatism.
I just remembered that it was about this is the first George Bush. The second George Bush's compassionate conservatism. This was a Peggy Noonan phrase, 1,000 points of light. And to me, I kind of felt the same way about that starry eye, something in the stars, something in the heavens, as C.S. Lewis felt about T.S. Eliot's Let Us Go Then You and I When the Evening is Spread Out Against the Sky Like a Patient Etherized Upon a Table. What the heck
what about
does
F. Scott
that
Fitzgerald?
mean?
You going to acronym me? I'll acronym you.
What does that mean? So I'm with Trump on that. Who the heck cares about 1,000 points of light? Besides, it wasn't making fun of George Bush the first. He didn't come up with the phrase. Peggy Noonan did. Mike from the North Side, good morning.
Good morning, guys. I have a Hobson's choice for you two.
Hammer or thumb?
Would you like me to give you Trump's secret plan for the Supreme Court?
Yes.
Or do you want the 10 similarities between Rahm Emanuel and Adolf Hitler?
Oh, give me the secret plan. I can't do Hitler anymore.
Let's
All
say
right.
yeah, go ahead.
The secret plan is he's already talked to Chuck Schumer, and he's using one of Schumer's recommendations. If the Democrats give his next choice to the Supreme Court at least 10 votes in the nomination process, then he, in return, President Trump will nominate Merrick Garland to head the EPA.
I
think that's a fair trade.
That's very
I'll tell
funny.
you, she's down. I love it.
Merrick Garland to head the EPA. That makes it makes some weird sense, Mike. you've lured me into your second thing. I want to know why Rahm is like Hitler.
It doesn't matter, in my opinion, and Pruitt shows you that.
Thank you, Mike.
It doesn't matter who heads the EPA. It is such a strong arm of the Leviathan. They're just hood ornaments on the same tyranny.
No,
it doesn't matter.
actually,
what did Pruitt do?
He accomplished quite a bit.
Sure he did.
Yes, he did. And
Keep
his
saying it. It'll come
successor,
true.
Wheeler, who worked for Inhofe, the senator who doesn't believe in climate change, apparently.
I don't either.
Neither
What do you think
I.
of that?
I'm a denier.
You know who else didn't?
Yeah.
John Coleman, God rest his soul.
Sure.
The true scientist
Look,
among
when
us.
I was
Not to
going to
mention, we could look back 40 years and see they're absolutely unequivocally
Look,
wrong.
I'm still upset that when I went to college, the first course I took was environmental biology, and I had to read Paul Ehrlich's The Population Bomb, which said that we weren't going to last till the year 2000 because of overpopulation. And because of that, I didn't study very hard.
Republicans make that
Yeah.
argument too now. They hide behind it. That's how they argue against
Republicans
immigration.
are neo-Malthusians.
That's how they argue against immigration. They're worried about the population. And do you know what's fascinating?
Well,
And
yeah,
I had
because
this.
we have we're not even reproducing
I had a-
ourselves. We need some immigrants.
I had a guy come in my store and he did the whole population boom. Do you know how many acres are in Texas? Acres.
You know what happens when
You
a
know
farmer?
how big an acre is? A football field.
You know how
How many acres are in Texas? Just answer the question.
If you will answer my question, which is
boy,
what
so I'm
happens?
talking to Roseanne.
What
Go ahead.
happens when a farmer steps on a rake?
It hits him in the forehead.
It gets 2 acres. But go
Nice.
ahead.
There are 688 million acres. Million. That means every person in America could get a half acre in Texas.
How about a mule? Would we get a mule?
Oh, let's not get started
Half an
there.
acre and a mule?
Easy. That doesn't end well.
But I'm
just saying. I just want to have some
Sean,
perspective.
I've actually taken a few airplane flights in my life.
Less
so
than
I
6%?
I noticed that most of the area in the United States is not populated. But that doesn't mean that it's inhabitable.
But of course it is. None of it was
How are we
inhabitable
going to get
before
water
we did it.
to those places?
What are you talking about? We're America, baby. That's what we're good at. That kind of actual work and ingenuity. The fact of the matter is that we're in this kind of stagflation because we've all gotten kind of subdued and we've all been bought off. Look at California. You know, when people ask you, who's your favorite president? I love to watch the conservatives struggle, right? I don't know. Is it Calvin Coolidge? Is it Ronald Reagan?
It's
Is it all
Reagan.
this?
It's Reagan.
Who doubled America? More than doubled America. There's only one president that ever really did anything.
The size of America?
Who
Thomas
Louisiana,
Jefferson, Louisiana
bingo.
Purchase,
That's
baby.
it. That's
Hey,
the only answer.
Speaking of California, somebody tweeted this. It was great. Jerry Brown, the same
Talk
Jerry
about a
Brown,
failure.
about 40 years ago, whatever. Wasn't he the governor? Governor Moonbeam, excuse me, at that time. Mike Royko dubbed him. He was asked by Gerald Ford to allow 500,000 Vietnamese refugees to settle in California.
What'd he
after
say?
the Vietnam. No way.
Yeah.
We
Well,
don't want them.
He was mesmerized by Linda Ronstadt prancing around the house in a towel.
How is he still the?
Because
That's an amazing story.
government is
Talk
the-
about second act F. Scott Fitzgerald.
And that's why
Yeah.
I laughed at Trump saying, who are you going to run against? And he named all the 70-year-olds. Government is the only industry on the planet that the more it fails, the stronger and more money it gets. So why fix anything when you could run Peter Roskam for the 1,000th time?
Well, there's nothing wrong with Peter Roskam.
Oh, he's a
But
failure.
Here's the thing. Well, the answer to government is more government. Doubling down. They always double down. We just haven't done enough.
You're stupefied because we're too busy with our own lives to really pay attention.
Well,
That's what it is. You're stupefied, and you want to trust, right? One thing Donald Trump shows you is everyone needs a strong man, right? Just play I Want a Hero.
Here's the reason
Just
I
sell
love
the image. Forget
reason
about the reality.
This is where the Never Trumpers fail, okay? Because they want Trump to be presidential. I don't view him that way. I view him as my apprentice. He's my apprentice. He worka for me. I don't worka for him.
Yeah, well, how's that
okay,
work?
which is why I don't want him to act presidential. I want people to realize that he's just a human being, and he certainly is when he utters the kinds of things like he did yesterday, which here's another one from him.
We won by 44 points over a Democrat. Over a Democrat.
Okay, that was in Montana, and he also went on to talk about how he won big in the Electoral College.
Sure.
What he failed to mention was that he got 3 million fewer votes than Hillary Clinton. Okay,
It's
that's
the
a
hammer.
minor
It's the
thing.
ball peen hammer to the
It's a-
inseam. I
that's
can
a
limp,
minor
but I can
thing.
never grow my thumb
I get
back.
it. Hey, so, we got Brett Baer after the top of the hour, and you notice I'm a little bit apprehensive about
Oh,
this?
I love Brett
'Cause
Baer.
I love
If he
him too.
cancels on me, I'm gonna
I
find
don't think he's canceling, but I'm just a little bit nervous.
Oh,
Because,
come on, man up. Nervous. You raised
he's-
5
he's
kids.
a
You're still
big-
married to the same woman. You should be nervous about going home.
Brett Baer is a big star. Yeah, he's Fox News special report.
You're just jealous because he's got the only guy on the planet with better hair than you.
I don't think his hair is better than I am, and
It's like a chia pet. See the hair on this guy? Great.
But he's got the cred,
street cred.
So
Yeah.
I'm just a little bit nervous. I'm trying to prepare a question. I mean,
But he doesn't have a neck.
Okay. I hope Brett's not listening to this. All right, let's go quickly go to Kevin. Oh, I'll get this right here. Kevin from Northfield. Good morning, Kevin.
If you guys are in for Dan and Amy, which one of you is Amy? Now, to answer that, I'm going to say
I'm wearing the bikini
Bruce,
top, but go ahead.
Bruce, don't be nervous about Brett Baer. He won't be Bear. He'll be fully clothed.
There we
I don't
go.
want you to get nervous. He'll be in a
Yes.
bathrobe at least.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Everyone knows
Thank
I'm Amy.
you.
I'm the sexy one.
Thank you, Kevin. That was well worth waiting for. Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy on AM 560, The Answer.
Listen to podcasts of Dan and Amy from the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Today, sunny with a high near 82. You see what I did here, you little girl? I'm not even reading what you wrote. It's going to be 82, not 77. Tonight, it's going to get down to 59. Saturday, sunny with a high near 81. At night, it's going to get down to 63. Then Sunday, nobody cares because it's the last day you get to enjoy yourself before it's back to work we go, like one of the dwarfs. Now it's Kevin Henry on traffic.
John, on Round Lake, you have a crash 120 west of 134. Kennedy inbound starting to see delays building Addison most of the way into the Burn Interchange. 23 from the airport, 13 from the Edens, 8 in the Express. Outbound delays past the junction, Bryn Mawr to Sayre, 21 back to O'Hare. Ike inbound from 390, costs you 33, 20 from Manheim on the brakes from 9th to Des Plaines, California to downtown. Outbound from Austin to Des Plaines, give yourself 31 back to 390. The inbound Stevenson is stopping and going. Harlem to Kedzie, a pocket as well from Ashland to the Ryan Ramp. 50 minutes from 355, 40 from the Tri-State. Out to the Tri-State just shy of a half hour, a little under 40 out to 355, slowest from Cicero to Harlem. Inbound Ryan takes you 22, inbound Ford at 17, and your tollways, northbound Tri-State slowing from the Stevenson to Hinsdale, and the Reagan to the Ike. I'm Kevin Henry in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
I'm Lou Dobbs. Boeing in a new deal with the Brazilian aircraft company. Another incident at a Philadelphia Starbucks. Those stories next.
Hey, this is Ricky from Banyan Hill. I want to get a few things straight. First off, I like freedom. Second, I like money. Fact is, I like freedom and money, which is why I love Freedom Checks, a unique investment that can secure your retirement income without being tied down to the government. And while I'm no genius, I am smart enough to follow an expert like Matt, who showed me how anyone has the chance to stake their claim on an estimated $34.6 billion payout. To get all the details from Matt, just go to myfreedomchecks.com. Thousands of people are already lined up to cash in. Take Doug, for example. He's a 46-year-old from Joplin, Missouri who's set to get a check for $24,075. Now, how much your check is depends on how much you put behind Matt's insights, but the potential here is undeniable. Of course, if you want the chance to grab your full fair share of this $34.6 billion, you must have your ducks in a row ASAP. So don't wait. Go see Matt at myfreedomchecks.com. That's www.myfreedomchecks.com.
Crude oil prices fell yesterday after news broke that petroleum inventories had risen unexpectedly last week. That's good news for consumers who've recently seen oil prices hover near the highest levels since 2014. Boeing and Brazilian aircraft maker Embraer are planning to form a joint venture that will be valued at $5 billion. If successful, the new company will push Boeing into the regional aircraft market. An employee at a Starbucks location in Philadelphia has been fired. He mocked a customer with a stutter. In addition to berating him, the barista spelled his name on the coffee cup with extra letters. After lodging a complaint, the customer was initially offered a $5 gift card as an apology, but now the barista has been terminated. Please join us for Lou Dobbs tonight, 7 and 11 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
On AM 560 The Answer, we talk about the important issues that affect your world. Things like the economy, education, and foreign policy. There's always so much going on in the news that we don't always have the time to focus in and talk about the big ideas behind the important issues. Enter Upstream Ideas online at upstream-ideas.com. Upstream Ideas, in partnership with the Illinois Opportunity Project, provides the kind of information that informs the policy discussions happening here on AM 560. At Upstream Ideas, you'll broaden the debate, move beyond partisan assumptions, and challenge accepted beliefs. Upstream Ideas goes against the current and thinks upstream. Go online now at upstream-ideas.com. That's upstream-ideas.com. You'll be armed with new information and fresh perspectives to help encourage you to make the state of Illinois and the United States of America a bit freer, a bit more just, and a bit more civilized. Upstream-ideas.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule. Thousands of doctors, health specialists, and professionals recommend Balance of Nature as a way of improving their health. Listen to a few unsolicited success stories from doctors that not only recommend it, but use Balance of Nature as well.
I look at Balance of Nature and I look what it's doing for me as I've started taking it, and for the patients that I have that are taking it, it's been phenomenal watching the changes that have happened and how much healthier and how much more energy that they have. I haven't heard any negative feedback from any of my patients who have been taking the product. The thing that amazes me with it is that it's so simple.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Make your home an ADT home and help protect against break-ins, fire, and carbon monoxide. Get our lowest rate for fast response monitoring, starting at just $28.99 a month. That's about $1 a day from the most trusted name in home security. Get ADT's tested, trusted, and proven security and service, now at a great value. Don't wait. Call today. ADT. Always there. Now everywhere. Requires 36-month monitoring contract. Early termination, taxes, and install fees apply. Certain markets excluded. See terms and pricing at ADT.com.
Today, business happens here, and virtually anywhere. Because today, innovative companies are reinventing the way business happens, and they need people who can keep up. With the expertise and technology to get packages to over 150 million delivery points. So, who can help you deliver the future of commerce? The United States Postal Service. See why we deliver more e-commerce packages to homes than anyone at USPS.com/future.
Hi, it's Amy Jacobson, and am I impressed with the MyPillow mattress topper. There's 3 unique layers of comfort that evenly supports your body weight, helps relieve pressure points, and keeps your body temperature regulated all night, not too cold or too hot. You'll save 30%, plus when you buy a mattress topper at a discount, you can also get 2 free standard MyPillows. That's an unbelievable offer. 2 standard MyPillows free and 30% off a mattress topper. Or get 1 low price on 2 MyPillows and receive free shipping. But you have to use the promo code Amy. There's a 10-year warranty on pillows and mattress toppers and a 60-day money-back guarantee. So go online or call now for these great deals and others, including 30% off pet beds, sheets, and more. Go to MyPillow.com, promo code Amy, or call 800-489-0201, promo code Amy. MyPillow.com, that's 800-489-0201. Promo code Amy.
Right now, are you sitting in your home afraid to go out in public? Afraid to be seen in a restaurant? Afraid to talk or smile knowing those dentures will fall out at any minute? I'm Dr. Howard Cooper from Excellence in Dentistry, and we can handle all your worries. We have a complete in-house denture lab, and we're here to help you smile and eat with all the confidence again. Every day I see folks like Mary, whose family didn't know where else to turn. Mary's been losing weight and wouldn't eat with her ill-fitting dentures. After talking with Mary, we realized that not only did her denture not fit well, but she hated the way it made her look. We fabricated a new denture that day, and we designed it with Mary's concerns in mind. The smile on her face when we finished conveyed the greatest feeling of all. Mary not only looked beautiful, but she was happy and couldn't wait to get downstairs and hit the restaurant. Mary is happy and her family is happy. That's what we do for our patients. We change their lives. Call us at 847-244-4000 for your free consultation. Don't hide in your house any longer. Enjoy your summer with a new smile and a new outlook on life. Again, call us at 847-244-4000. We are located in Gurnee at Washington and 21 in Saratoga Square. Excellence in dentistry, creating excellence one smile at a time.
Sheet metal is a big part of commercial and industrial facilities. Look around your business and you'll quickly notice how many components use sheet metal. From fan systems and hoods to machinery guards and much more. For top quality sheet metal work, get to know the pros at Vans Industrial.
Hi, I'm Dave Van Camp, owner of Vans Industrial. Vans Industrial is an industrial sheet metal contractor that can fabricate all types of alloys up to 1-inch plate. We perform jobs including chutes, hoppers, stacks, siding, and dust collection. We work in material handling facilities including steel, chemical, agricultural, food processing plants, and more. Vans Industrial can also design and perform the engineering for a complete turnkey installation. Our quality work is installed by trained mechanics who will work closely with you to make sure the job is done right.
Call 833-VANS-IND for a free inspection of your facility. Interested in what else they do? Visit vansindustrial.com. That's VANS Industrial.com. Quality craftsmanship since 1964. A storm is on the horizon, and you need to keep the lights on no matter what. Your business relies on the power being on 24/7. It's the lifeblood of your data and computer systems. Weather-related outages from the power company are not acceptable. Your need for a source of power that's reliable 24/7, along with round-the-clock service that can dispatch technicians to your site immediately, is mission critical. Your business needs Charles Equipment Energy Systems on speed dial. These are the big boys, not residential or solar, but reliable industrial generators for emergency backup or events. When you need more than a 100-foot extension cord plugged into a small engine generator, call Charles Equipment Energy Systems. They keep the lights on with rental generators for job sites or power outages. The storm season is here. Plan ahead. Call now to prepare generators for sudden damage and potential power outages. Call 630-834-6000. That's 630-834-6000 or charlesequipment.com. charlesequipment.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Bruce Wolf, Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy. Coming up after the 7 o'clock news, we're going to have Brett Baer, a Fox News special report.
Don't scare him like you did last time. One question he left when you asked him. Let me handle it.
It was great when we interviewed him last time because it was the day after he had interviewed Comey, that landmark interview. And we're talking to Brett, and all of a sudden he says to us, after talking to us for like 10 or 15 minutes, he says, sorry, got to go. And then we feel like he's just abandoned us.
No. You felt abandoned. I felt very satisfied. He answered my question, ignored yours.
I turn around, look at the TV monitor. He was on the Fox News morning set. He hung up with us, and like 5 seconds later,
and you had that song Memories in the
on.
back of your head when you used to be on TV?
So exactly.
Right.
Well, I always wear the HD makeup just
Of
in case
course
a TV
you do.
in case a TV show breaks out. And I guess we're live video streaming right now, and I'm not wearing makeup. Did you see this photo that's gone viral? It's a Wisconsin man who is simulating breastfeeding his newborn child.
I did.
And,
you can't unsee
He's got his
it.
shirt off and the hairy chest and a
Don't
little bit
watch
envious of the hairy chest. But the baby's right up to him, and it looks like she's breastfeeding, and he's very proud. He's very sensitive, Alan Alda type male. I'm just thinking, even if there's fracking involved here, you're still going to come up dry.
First of all,
even with fracking.
I don't even like to watch women, and I could never figure that out on a commuter train. Women would breastfeed, then they'd be offended you looked. Then I never knew how to act when they would whip it out and stick it in the kid's mouth. Of course I'm going to look. It's a train wreck. I got to see it.
I kind of wish that Amy Comey Barrett, who has 7 children, I don't know what the youngest is, but during her confirmation hearing, if Tammy Duckworth and she were both breastfeeding during the questioning, and that giant sucking sound you'd hear would be the air going out of settled law. So, pardon my Ross Perot.
I think it would be people running out of the door. Hey,
so we'll be talking to Brett Baer about not that. We won't phrase it. If
you bring up breastfeeding, I'm leaving.
I'm not bringing that up to Brett Baer. I know how to talk to Brett
Sure
Baer,
you.
I think. So we got him. We got Julie Kelly of American Greatness and the Federalist, who's going to talk about how Scott Pruitt was jobbed. We'll talk up, and the jobs report is coming out at 7:30 this morning. So we're chock full of stuff.
I think she should. I'm going to ask if Scott Pruitt was half the man Gina McCarthy was.
Now, Gina McCarthy, for those of us who don't know, and I forget at the moment, was the head of the EPA,
Oh,
right?
did you ever see this lady? She's scared to wax off a Buick, poor thing.
But the double standard, and I know we're getting into whataboutism here, or as I like to say in Latin, tu quoque, you too. Why didn't anybody scrutinize what Gina McCarthy was doing at the EPA during the Obama administration?
Because she's a Democrat and they
exactly,
can do anything.
Exactly. It's what I like to call the drive-by media, Mr. Snerdley. All right, so we got all that coming up after the news. Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson here in for Dan and Amy on a Friday, July the 6th, 2018. Let's go to the newsroom right now. And our dear friend, Tom Beck. Good morning, Tom.
Oh, good morning, guys. You know I'm blushing here. Here are the stories we're following. A man and a 5-year-old girl are dead in a possible case of domestic murder-suicide. Repair and cleanup continue after severe storms rolled through Chicagoland yesterday. Another sentencing in connection with the torture of a mentally ill, disabled teenager that was shown on Facebook. Now, time for an update from Fox News on AM 560 The Answer, WIND Chicago.
There's only a limited time to get the boys out of that Thai cave. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what the Thai Navy SEAL commander says, that things have changed for the 12 stranded boys and their soccer coach after an ex-SEAL volunteer died in a dive delivering oxygen bottles. Fox's Simon Owen monitoring the situation live from London.
Dave, the death of Saman Poonan highlighting the dangers involved in the rescue operation as authorities consider having the boys dive their way out of the cave despite having no cave diving experience. Another volunteer cave diver, Ivan Karadzic from Denmark, who's also helping in the rescue efforts, says a challenging mission lies ahead.
Most cave divers will have training to rescue other cave divers out of a cave, but rescuing kids out of a cave, that is new to most of us.
He believes a rescue will be attempted today or tomorrow. Dave?
Simon, there are new U.S. tariffs today on more goods made in China, $34 billion worth.
The war was lost on trade many years ago. You know, when they were saying not a free trade, I said, no, the war was lost. But now we're going to win it.
President Trump at a rally last night in Montana. China says it has retaliated immediately, targeting $34 billion in American goods. That Montana rally was very Republican, trying to unseat Democratic Senator John Tester.
Democrats want anarchy. They really do. And they don't know who they're playing with, folks.
The president took aim at a few of his Democratic critics, saying Maxine Waters has a low IQ. She's the congresswoman who called on supporters to harass Trump cabinet members. He also again repeatedly called Senator Elizabeth Warren Pocahontas.
I will give you $1 million to your favorite charity, paid for by Trump, if you take the test and it shows you're an Indian, you know.
Senator Warren not laughing. She responded saying, hey, at Real Donald Trump, while you obsess over my genes, your administration is conducting DNA tests on little kids because you ripped them from their mamas and you are too incompetent to reunite them.
Fox's Carly Shimkus, Fox News, fair and balanced.
It's become a summer tradition. Rockin' for the Troops returns this summer on July 14th at Northwestern Medicine Field in Geneva, home of the Kane County Cougars. Don't miss this year's lineup featuring Seventh Heaven, Ayla Brown, Rocky Lynn, The Voices, and Ryan Weaver. Proceeds will benefit Operation Support Our Troops America. Get your tickets today at rockinforthetroops.org. That's rockinforthetroops.org.
Make your home an ADT home and help protect against break-ins, fire, and carbon monoxide. Get our lowest rate for fast response monitoring, starting at just $28.99 a month. That's about $1 a day from the most trusted name in home security. Get ADT's tested, trusted, and proven security and service, now at a great value. Don't wait. Call today. ADT. Always there. Now everywhere. Requires 36-month monitoring contract. Early termination, taxes, and install fees apply. Certain markets excluded. See terms and pricing at ADT.com.
Now through July 6th, it's the Blinds.com 4th of July sale. Blinds.com is the easiest way to reimagine your home with brand new, made-to-order custom blinds. Plus, every order gets free samples, free shipping, and a free online design consultation. For a limited time, you could save up to 50%, plus take an additional 5% off at Blinds.com, promo code LIGHT. Hurry, this sale ends Friday, July 6th. Save up to 50%, plus take an additional 5% off at Blinds.com, promo code LIGHT.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest-growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
Hi, I'm Dave Geiselhart, president and owner of Home Trust Mortgage and customer of Signature Bank. When the large banks turned away from the mortgage lending industry during the financial crisis, I turned to locally owned Signature Bank. Signature Bank stepped in and helped me expand our business at a time when the larger banks wouldn't. Today, I'm proud to say Home Trust Mortgage has been able to expand our business in Illinois and the Great Lakes region. We couldn't have done that without the help of Signature Bank. Signature Bank truly helps Chicago businesses like mine grow and thrive. That's why we also became personal customers and shareholders of Signature Bank, Chicago's business bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Mr. Rogers?
Yeah.
I like you.
I like you, my dear.
America is falling in love with Mr. Rogers again. Entertainment Weekly raves. It's the movie we need right now.
Fred's theology was love your neighbor and love yourself. It was a communication right into their hearts.
Mr. Rogers' faith has inspired us all.
Thank you for whatever you do to bring joy and faith to our world today.
Won't You Be My Neighbor? Rated PG-13. May be inappropriate for children under 13. Now in theaters everywhere.
I love this music.
I do too.
Feels like traffic music to me. Yeah. Let's go to our correspondent in the field, Tom Beck. Are you there, Tom? Kevin, excuse me, it's Kevin.
Yeah,
our
it's
traffic
me. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right, that's great.
All right. Excuse him, Kevin. It's his first day on the job.
Wait a minute. Are you covering the Hindenburg right now? Because you sound like you're out there.
I'm live in the helicopter.
Okay.
Put.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, let's start in Round Lake. You have a crash 120 west of 134. The Edens outbound, slow to Eden Isle Center. It's 20 out to Lake Cook. Kennedy in from O'Hare takes you 22. 12 from the junction at 8 in the Express. Outbound 10 to Montrose, 21 to O'Hare. The Eisenhower in, a crash at Ashland slows you back to Cicero. 41 from 390. 28 from Manheim. 18 back to Manheim. 31 to 390. Stevenson in from 355 at 50 minutes. 40 from the Tri-State. 28 back to the Tri-State. 38 to 355. 24 in Mount Ryan. Bishop Ford and I-57 clear, no problems Lakeshore Drive. Only tollway delay, northbound Tri-State from 88 to 290 with a full westbound ramp. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Kevin Henry on AM 560, The Answer.
And now your official Chicagoland weather forecast from meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Today mostly sunny with a refreshing breeze. High 79, clear night low 60. Tomorrow sunny, high 82, and a clear night low 63. Full day of sunshine for Sunday, high 87. I'm Kevin Snyder for AM 560, The Answer.
Next news at 7:30, Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy and Bruce and Sean in for Dan and Amy continues now on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Advanced Planning Advisors, bringing you Smart Money Talk with Mike Moylan and Rob Curvin, Saturday mornings at 6.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy. And Justin, you did a great job on that. But next time, try it this way. Here's the staff announcer voice I want. Now it's time for Sean Thompson and Brucey Wolf in for Dan and Amy. Brought to you by Salerno Butter Cookie.
I like it.
Yeah, I was going to shoot for the 80s DJ, talk with a little like this, do the news.
You got to be like a WGN staff announcer who had a lisp. Which actually existed in Chicago broadcasting. So that's terrific.
Can't take anything a man in a sweater says. Seriously.
Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson, as I mentioned already, but it bears repeating. It's writing worth reading and repeating. Coming up at 7:35, we have got Julie Kelly of American Greatness and the Federalist and formerly of National Review, Orland Park's very own, who will talk to us about the double standard at the EPA or among the liberals because they eviscerated Scott Pruitt, but what about Gina McCarthy? As you've been mentioning this morning, it was the Obama. No, probably people don't even know Gina McCarthy's name.
She's not the guy you saw in the bathroom in the men's room at Starbucks.
Right, so there you go. So we'll talk to her about that. We've got Adam Schuster at 8:05 from the Illinois Policy Institute, I believe. That's one of Dan Proft's shell organizations. I
Easy.
think.
Don't
Anyway,
upset the new Hearst.
But we'll talk. This is the anniversary of the income tax hike.
Is it
in
really?
Illinois? Yes. And at 8:35, we've got this real funny guy who can talk about the law, and it's not easy to be funny and talk about the law. John Zmirak, the writer and editor for the Stream.org, who will talk about how everybody's going crazy about Amy Coney Barrett, possibly the Donald Trump Supreme Court nominee.
I'm not convinced.
Well, here's the thing, that she belongs to this cult called Catholicism, which it's people. I think it's People for the Praise or something like that. There's some sect within Catholicism, but everybody's going nuts about it. It reminds me of the Onion story once about the family that wanted to deprogram their son who had joined the priesthood.
Isn't Sotomayor Catholic?
Well, but she's a Latina.
Oh.
She's a wise Latina,
All right.
so that's okay.
Right.
As long as you're a lapsed Catholic, if you're a practicing Catholic, that's a problem.
Who was the justice that lived with his mother that used to eat the apple, the
Souter?
core and
Is
everything?
that Souter or Breyer?
Yeah, that guy's okay, though.
Yeah.
Perfectly normal. You're fine. You can be in. Yeah.
That's okay.
That's not weird.
So, yeah, we'll talk about the choices. I think at this moment that it's going to be this guy, Kethledge. And say Kethledge, Justice Kethledge 10 times real fast. You can't. But I think it's going to be this guy because he's the safest choice. Although there's talk, there is talk that Donald Trump wants to get a Harvard or a Yale guy in there, and that Amy Coney Barrett, according to HotAir.com, flunked her interview with Donald Trump because she's only a Notre Dame law grad. You see, here's the thing about Trump. He's basically a guy from Queens, as the late Garrison Keillor of blessed memory wrote. He's a guy from Queens who wants to impress the Manhattanites. So he surrounds himself, even though he talks the populist talk like he did in Montana last night and he loves the people, he surrounds himself with Yale and Harvard guys.
I'm a big Judge Judy. No Judge Judy? I mean, let's just do it, baby. Judge Judy or one of those, what do they call it, hot justice? The one.
Well, what about Judge Janine? Yeah. Trump watches Judge Janine on Fox News.
No, her legs are too nice to put one of those robes on.
She's a very well preserved woman, and I love the Jersey. I love the Jersey accent. I would love to hear her asking people questions. The Solicitor General a question.
Yeah. Listen, I'm from Melrose Park. We like beautiful women that could punch you in the face. I'm all in. I love it.
That is Judge Janine.
Yeah. Beautiful punch you right in the face.
The money right now in my fantasy league, my Supreme Court fantasy league. Why did you join our Supreme Court fantasy league?
Because I know it's going to go to a Bush guy.
The biggest trade.
No matter who it'll be a Bush guy.
The biggest trade I ever made in my Supreme Court fantasy league, I traded straight up Roe versus Wade for Bush versus Gore. That decision,
that was a good one.
I'll take Roe versus Wade overturned. You can have Al Gore as president.
I'll tell you what. And since Roberts rewrote Obamacare, it doesn't matter to me. It really doesn't. It's 9 freaks that I got to pretend have my best interest at heart. I hope it's my right or not. That's not how it's supposed to be.
Here's the thing about Roberts.
Judicial activists.
A lot of people are saying that Roberts will not vote to overturn Roe versus Wade, but no less an authority than Ross Douthat, who writes for the New York Times, thinks that Roberts would overturn Roe versus Wade. I mean, we're getting into the finely tuned arguments. David French in National Review wrote that Brett Kavanaugh, who's on the D.C. Circuit, actually, he's a home run but not a grand slam. Because when he had the chance to look at Obamacare, he viewed it as a tax, not as a penalty, but he wasn't really addressing Obamacare per se. Now I'm getting into the weeds as much as you do when you talk the IMF.
And you want to know something, Bruce? I don't need this guy to tell me what Obamacare is. It's tyranny, okay, wrapped in virtue. And I don't need 5 or 6 or 9 sick of judicial activists to tell me that killing a baby is wrong. I don't need them.
Well, first of all,
and any person that would do it is a scumbag. How do you like that? I'm not running for anything. I don't need anybody's vote. If you have an alternative and it ends in murder, you're a scumbag. When it ends in murder of the total innocent baby, you're lower than a scumbag.
Let me tell you something about the Supreme Court, okay?
All right.
They make it up as they go along.
Sure they
The reason they do is because the courts have to look to higher courts. Well, the Supreme Court's the highest court, so what court is it going to look to? It looks to itself. It's a masturbatory activity that they're involved in. So then you get a guy like the High Sparrow, Anthony Kennedy, who decides he just makes up the Obergefell decision out of whole cloth. That was the decision of permitting gay marriage and making gay marriage the law of the land. He just made it up. That was used to be the province of the states. And he just decided it's not anymore.
Government's made up of human beings.
Right. I mean, it was legislation by the court.
That's why we celebrate the 4th of July this week. And one thing that gets by me, and I can't believe we don't talk about it, the entire intention of these young men, by the way, 33 years old, the Declaration of Independence. The intention was always to restrain government. It was never to restrain us. And look at us today.
I thought the Declaration of Independence was 241 years old. What's 33 years old?
That's what Thomas Jefferson was when
he was 33.
When he wrote it.
He was only 33.
33
That was
years old.
old in those days.
Oh,
I mean, people died when they were 34.
Sure. You were like Maxine Waters.
That's why they made it so the
33
president
was Maxine Waters today.
That's why they made it so the president had to be at least 35 years old. It was only dead white males who were eligible to become president.
All kids of the 60s, all reformed communists running everything.
All right, when we come back, more tomfoolery. Do you want to play some Donald Trump speech cuts next? Or what do you want to do when we come back?
I'm tweeting him right now, and I'm saying, now I'm coming on your show, and I'm not wearing a tie.
I think we deserve a chance to be on Brett Baer's panel.
I was going to ask him about facade economics. See, and when you say something like facade economics to Brett Baer, it bounces around in that head of his. He spews it on Fox, and next thing you know, my title is worldwide.
All right. Well, I don't know what happened to Brett Baer this morning, but
he doesn't like you.
Maybe he's taking a long weekend.
He didn't answer your last question.
He's got to play golf.
He doesn't like you.
Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy, and with our special guest announcer, Justin, this morning.
There's only one radio show in Chicago talking about today's biggest stories and telling you what they really mean. That show is this one, Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
Highland Park Ford Lincoln's in the house. Here's Alan Marty.
For 30 years, we've been making people happy with incredible deals and service.
We're the best Ford Lincoln dealers in town.
Because making people happy makes us happy.
No doubt. This is one happy place.
Heck, we just break into dance all the time.
We don't break into dance at the dealership.
Sure we do.
No, we really don't.
We could. Come on, Marty, dance with me.
The Highland Park Ford Lincoln Superstore. Call 1-800-984-9000 or go to alanmarty.com.
Admit it.
Okay, you're a lovely dancer.
Thank you. This is Alan Marty. Deal with us.
I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO of Wesley Financial Group and timeshare cancellation advocate. I was sued by the largest timeshare company in federal court for simply helping people cancel their timeshare that they had been lied to about. The jury sized me up and came back with a verdict after only 20 minutes. And yes, I won.
My husband and I are more than grateful to everyone at Wesley Financial Group. You know, thanks to Chuck and his team, we feel as though a weight has been lifted and we can move on without the worry of a troublesome timeshare.
Whether you owe $10,000 to $250,000 on your timeshare, it's my mission to get you out of your timeshare, eliminate your payments, and get them off your back permanently. And we proudly hold an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau.
Want to learn more about getting rid of your troublesome timeshare? Call Wesley Financial Group now for your free consultation. Call 800-786-9300. That's 800-786-9300. 800-786-9300.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
I went to have my blood test done a few weeks ago, and I met the doctor, and he was really encouraged by my progress, and I showed him what I was taking, and he started looking at all the ingredients, and he said, I'm really impressed with the shiitake mushroom. And he said, this stuff, it could clean out your arteries. And I'm like, oh, wow. He said, you may be onto something here. And he said, you just keep that up, and maybe you can start cutting back on your medication. And he says, you're helping your health by doing that. And I'm like, whoa, endorsement by the doctor.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Are you stuck in a bad home mortgage? Well, join the club that has about 10 million other American families. But I may be able to help you. My name is Lou Bridges. I'm an attorney with the law firm of Lou Bridges & Associates. We've been helping distressed homeowners like you for over 8 years now. Give us a call. We provide free consultations. I guarantee you it will not be a sales pitch. We will give you our honest legal analysis, counsel, recommendations, and advice regarding your options.
We are experts in doing loan modifications successfully. We know the regs. We understand the process. Most importantly, we don't take no for an answer. We fight. We are prepared, and we win. We save houses. We make houses affordable. So if you want to keep your house affordable, contact us.
Go to bridgeslaw.net or call 224-513-1231. That's 224-513-1231.
Remember, people, never give up the land. Fight for truth and justice. You do that, I guarantee you'll never be alone in this country.
AM 560, The Answer.
Bruce Wolf, Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy, and I'm violating some radio principle here by mentioning that.
Wait a minute. Radio has principles because I'm in the wrong job.
We wonder what we're supposed to have Brett Baer on, but something happened.
It's busy.
So my wife texted me, "No Brett Baer."
Heckled by your wife.
Well,
huh?
I feel like Stanley Tucci in Big Night when Louis Prima didn't show up to the restaurant.
You got to go offensive now. You don't blame us. You blame him. Takes him twice as long to tie a tie with no neck. Can't get his head off the pillow. You go after him.
Most people wouldn't even mention it. They'd gloss over it and act like it didn't happen.
Not me.
Okay. Did you notice Donald Trump, for example, in his speech last night, all the things that he mentioned, did not mention Scott Pruitt's resignation once? That's how you do it.
I have to tell you something about this Pruitt resignation thing. This was supposed to be the guy, our guy to combat and tear down
which he did.
Really what is the Gestapo of the bureaucracies known as the EPA.
Yeah.
Right?
He did a good
job. He
job.
did nothing. What did he do? What did he do?
A, B, C, D, and E. And
He
that's
ran.
why they went after him. Let's go to
Ran like a scared girl in a
Don
horror
from
movie.
Crestwood. Good morning, Don.
Good morning. I would like to know why nobody talks about Barack Obama's latest speech to a group of elites stating that he tried for 8 years to get the United States to join into the New World Order but failed, that we need to just be submissive on it.
Well, the reason is...
Correct me if I'm wrong.
You're late to the game, though, Don.
Don, did you see a picture of Barack Obama's? It was on Twitter yesterday. I think it's an $8 million house he has right now. It's so big that he probably can sneak off to smoke in some corner of the house, and Michelle won't notice it.
Yeah, he went from three late payments on his
Appreciate the call.
Chrysler 300 to all of a sudden an $8.5 million house. But here's the thing I want to talk to these New World Order people about. You pretend like we're not part of it now. Are you kidding me? You were part of the New World Order in 1948 with the Bretton, or 46 with the Bretton Woods Agreement. We fund the whole world. And nobody, not even Donald Trump, is going to stop it. And he doesn't talk about it either. But it bothers people when the known Olinsky light talks about it. Would you just want to? You want to pretend we're still not in the same economic platform?
What are you driving at?
I'm driving at the fact.
You want us to become Fortress America? You want us to go at it alone? You know, there was a reason that Britannia ruled the waves. It wasn't just to have a song. You need those shipping lanes. You need to allow commerce to run from
this phony populism and protectionism is a bigger scam than what we had before. This is it's facade economics. It is a bigger fraud.
You're going to see the economic numbers at 7:30, which are going to show that Hispanic are getting more jobs.
Don't look at the participation.
Is that
whatever
a good
you
Alec
do.
Baldwin impersonation of Donald Trump? I don't know. But what do you think? Hey, what's the over-under? You're a gambling man. What do you think the jobs numbers are going to be? They're coming up at 7:30. What do you
First
think
of
they're
all,
going to be?
it takes at least 185,000 to break even.
So
at least.
You think we're
so
gonna
here's the thing.
How many jobs are there going to be, and what's the unemployment rate going to be?
doesn't matter.
Give me two numbers right now. Make your selections early at the mutual window.
The participation rate,
pari-mutual.
the job participation rate will not move a decimal.
I agree with you.
So it's all a lie.
Okay.
These are. I wish we had the clip of Obama, of Trump making fun of the numbers, because they're the same
what they
lie.
should do? They should always have the number of jobs, the unemployment rate, and the number of opioid deaths in the last month, because that's tied into it too.
And how about the fact that we, and I want the price of heroin to show that there's no break in the phony drug war. That in fact, you're going to tell me that the government isn't involved in the trafficking?
Let's go to Mark from Valparaiso. Good morning, Mark.
Hey, how you doing? I just want to let you know, Sean, that in 1923, Jack Lyland They took us off the gold standard, and we became debtors to the Catholic Church.
Okay, thank you,
Well,
Mark. I appreciate that.
71 with Nixon, but all right.
We're
We could
Catholic,
talk about- yeah.
We're Catholic with a small C.
We could talk
we're
about the bucket
universal.
shops,
We
too,
allow
margin
all
calls.
kinds of opinions to come in here.
Except the Mormons. Won't give me the burlap
Yeah,
underpants.
and the Irish, as they said,
And
in
the Irish,
Blazing
too.
Saddles. The Irish.
Yeah. All right.
So,
no Blazing Saddle reference. Will you please? We're hanging by a thread here.
So give me three numbers. I want the number of jobs. The jobs reports coming out at 7:30. I want the unemployment rate, and I want the number of opioid deaths from last month.
I'm just going to circumvent you with one. The participation rate
You
will
already
not
did that.
move.
Okay.
It won't move.
I mean,
but
I'm
here's
getting
the thing.
stonewalled by my own partner on the radio.
All right, here, I'll give it to you. Let's say unemployment, 185. Let's say 215.
215,000 jobs. Okay, and what's the unemployment rate going to be?
What is it now? What magical number
I
do
don't know,
we
is
have
it
now? Do you
3.9
want the
right now?
U3 or the U6? All right,
I'd like
let's do the
U2.
U3. I'll do 3.8.
3.8.
Yeah,
okay.
well, let's just make
All
it up
right.
too.
All right, so this is like the Price is Right.
And I'll give you two
That's great.
things that should never be sold in women's clothes: yoga pants above a size 12, or sandals above a size 10. Let's never sell those again in women's attire.
All right. Yeah. Come on down.
Sure.
All right. What time? I want to ask our staff announcer this question because he's busy preparing his next staff announcement. But what time do we have to hit the break this morning, staff announcer?
Anytime before 7:28 is cool with me.
Anytime before 7:20. If you could please say it like, anytime before 7:28 is cool with me.
Anytime before 7:28 is cool with me.
Where's the lisp?
Anytime before 7:28 is cool with me.
All right,
Hey, you know,
there
Ed
we go.
Schultz is dead.
You know, Ed Schultz died, and God rest his soul. He was the MSNBC host.
Did he go
also,
like Mama Cass with half a hamburger stuffed down his
He
throat?
also worked for that RT Russia Today. Do you know what he said? He was.
He ain't saying it today.
He was monitored more closely by MSNBC than he was by Russia Today. They used to tell him what to say on MSNBC. Russia Today, he had freedom of speech.
Wouldn't you love it if Rush Limbaugh went to the wake with a big bouquet of flowers? Didn't they have that thing where they hated each other?
Oh, my God.
Winner. His flowers should just say winner.
Frank from Canaryville. Good
Hi,
morning.
Bruce. This is actually Cliff Merther. You were referring to Cliff Merther. If you check him on, you could if you Google me, you'll find me on the afternoon news from 1980. And Cliff was wonderful. I was a wonderful announcer. And have a great day, Bruce.
You too, Frank. I appreciate it. Let's
Canaryville, huh?
Let's
Isn't
go
that where
to
that Shameless
Lee
is,
from Hammond. Good morning, Lee.
Yeah, hey guys. Hey, Bruce. You know, from what you said to Sean about us becoming fortress of America and not wanting to give it the global economy.
Right.
It's like when you were a kid and your mom told you, well, if everybody else in the neighborhood jumps in the lake, do you want to jump in the lake with them?
Okay,
that global economy is not doing exactly. It's not firing on all cylinders.
Oh,
if
see,
you
I
notice.
thought he meant if you wanted
Lee,
to do
Lee, I
protectionism
appreciate it.
like all
Let me
South America.
ask, so we have the $34 billion in tariffs. And I saw a list of items that we send over there. And tell me I got this wrong. I thought I saw that we send duck to China.
Sure.
Is that possible?
Sure.
If they make Peking duck, they're making it with American ducks?
Not no more.
No wonder you have to order it 24 hours in advance so that it gives them time to get the duck from America.
This austerity that we're now pretending is patriotic, I love it. Because the ramifications aren't just the fact that cars are going to go up or you're going to buy inferior products or all this stuff. It's that guys who pretend to be part of it, you're going to suffer first and you're going to suffer the greatest.
All right.
So welcome to the pain train.
A ship carrying
See who lasts longer.
U.S. soybeans was steaming toward northern China in a race to beat the 25% tariff.
Did they make it?
Peak Pegasus was expected to arrive in Dalian on Friday, the same day that China was scheduled to impose tariffs on imports. Somebody tweeted like this was a bad Dwayne Johnson movie.
Yeah.
Very funny.
Please.
Bruce Wolf, Sean
Conservatives
Thompson,
demanding Social Security.
in for Dan and Amy on AM 560, The Answer.
Before you see it on TV, share it on Facebook, or read about it in the paper, hear it here first. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Hey,
Joe Walsh here, and I've got great news for people just like me who have struggled with pain. I'm talking, of course, about Relief Factor, a 100% botanical product with 4 ingredients that have been helping thousands of people just like me with my back pain and general muscle aches and pain. I'm talking about real pain. Maybe you're struggling to even walk because of the pain, or maybe even getting out of a chair is painful, or sleeping through the night is hard to do because of the pain. If you've tried everything else like I did to get out of the pain, then you simply need to go to ReliefFactor.com to order the 3-week quick start for only $19.95. That's less than $1 a day to see if you can lower or even eliminate your pain. And remember, nearly 80% of those who order the quick start go on to order more. Hey, that's amazing. And it's 100% drug-free. ReliefFactor.com, ReliefFactor.com, or call 800-500-8384. That's 800-500-8384.
AM 560, The Answer.
All right, coming up after the news, Julie Kelly of American Greatness. I think she still writes from the Federalist. She's Orland Park's very own, and she's going to tell us how Scott Pruitt got jobbed. We'll also have the jobs numbers and see if Sean
winner chicken dinner.
The price, see if his price is right. Now let's go to the newsroom. And Tom Beck.
Bruce, Sean, thanks. Good morning. 70 degrees in Chicago at 7:29. On AM 560, The Answer. Tom Beck in for Mike Scott. U.S. and China are putting tariffs on $34 billion worth of each other's exports. China calling this the biggest trade war in history. Number of migrants trying to cross the U.S.-Mexico border was down 18% last month, according to U.S. Customs and Border Protection. President Trump says the woman who climbed the base of the Statue of Liberty is a clown. The woman said she was protesting the president's immigration policies. A man and a 5-year-old girl are dead in a possible case of domestic murder-suicide in Chicago's Douglas Park neighborhood. Repair and cleanup continue after severe thunderstorms rolled through Chicagoland yesterday, resulting in a number of problems, including in flooding. National Weather Service is telling folks not to go into Lake Michigan in Cook County, as well as Lake and Porter counties in Indiana today, and that's due to high waves and rip currents. Mercer is the latest Illinois county to declare itself a sanctuary for gun owners. Mercer County is the 30th county in the state to adopt a gun sanctuary resolution. News is a service of Aruba Tourism. Imagine if your daily commute was from your beach chair right next to the crystal blue Caribbean Sea. It's time for an escape to sunny Aruba. Hop a daily nonstop flight from O'Hare to One Happy Island. Plan your Aruba vacation today at Aruba.com and a service of Unbound.org. There's a girl in El Salvador who dreams of becoming an engineer. There's an elder in Uganda who dreams of having a community to call his own. No two dreams are the same. Help one person achieve theirs at Unbound.org. AM 560 News Time, 7:31. Time for a dry basement in a healthy home. Time to call Permaseal. 800-421-SEAL. How bad is traffic? We'll have the answer in 2 minutes on AM 560. The Answer.
Dennis Prager, The Dennis Prager Show.
One of the reasons that there are no competing goods for the left on this issue is they don't really care if we are inundated with illegal immigrants. That's one reason. Another reason is everything is seen in the prism of how can it hurt this administration.
The Dennis Prager Show. Weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Get your truly free credit score and free credit monitoring from Credit Karma. Download the Credit Karma app today. Credit Karma. Get knowing.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
I was diagnosed with congestive heart failure. I went from being able to work 14, 16 hours a day with no problem to where I could barely walk a block to the store. I went on to the phytonutrients about 6 months ago, and within a couple of months, my medical doctor had cut my prescriptions down in a little bit smaller dosage. The next time I went back a month later, I walked into the doctor's office and he says, "My gosh, what's happened to you? You don't even look like the same person." He looked at my legs and the swelling had gone down. My blood pressure was down. The venous stasis ulcers that I had had on my legs for the last 4 or 5 years because of the poor circulation were all healed, and I'm feeling far better.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
At 7:33, checking roads from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Kevin.
Thanks, Tom. Outbound Kennedy, slow past the Edens. Bryn Mawr to Sayre. It's going to be 10 to the junction, 21 to O'Hare. Inbound is clear. The inbound Eisenhower tight from Cicero to the Byrne interchange. They've cleared the crash at Ashland. 37 from 390, 24 from Manheim. On the brakes outbound Harlem to Des Plaines, 17 to Manheim, and a half hour to 390. The inbound Stevenson jams from Central to Kedzie, 45 from 355 and 35 from the Tri-State. Your inbound Ryan takes you 23 minutes. Slowdowns from 87 to 79th and the Stevenson on in. Lakeshore Drive clear in both directions. Closures in place in Grant Park for Taste of Chicago setup. Only tollway delay northbound Tri-State from the Reagan up to the Ike. Traffic, a service of Unbound.org. In places around the world, there are elders who long for community, connection, and the opportunity to live with greater dignity. Sponsor an elder through Unbound and help bring a brighter tomorrow to one person who has helped us all build a better world. Meet one at Unbound.org. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Kevin Henry on AM 560, The Answer.
Kevin, thanks. More of Chicago's Morning Answer comes your way next. Now your forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Mostly sunny and cooler, high 78. Saturday sunny, high 81. Sunday mostly sunny, high 86. Right now it's fair, 70 at O'Hare, 72 at Midway, and 69 along Chicago's lakefront. Next news update comes your way at 8 o'clock. Continuous coverage of the latest news. Traffic and weather at 560theanswer.com. Now, more of Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer. I'm Tom Beck.
This hourly segment is sponsored by the Townstone Financial Show. Saturday afternoons at 1. Nobody values your mortgage business like Townstone. Listen and call for the best advice.
If you're talking about it, I'll be talking about it. Dennis Prager here. Join me this morning at 11, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy. Friend of mine texted me, we lose a Krauthammer, they lose a Schultz. Yeah, not exactly even, but yeah, good point there.
Yeah, sure.
I don't like that trade.
No, not good.
So I miss Krauthammer.
No one's going to miss Schultz, except the beef stand owner.
Too soon.
All right.
Too soon, man. So Scott Pruitt got jobbed. There's no question.
He
Maybe
pansied out. He's a
deserved
pansy.
it. But somebody I know has been writing about what's been going on to Scott Pruitt over the last several months. Her name is Julie Kelly. She's Orland Park's very own. Writes for American Greatness. Has written for The Federalist and National Review. And good morning, Julie. You there?
Hi, guys.
Hi.
BGIF, how are you?
So just chronicle for us how angry you are over the Scott Pruitt thing.
I think the political assassination of Scott Pruitt and his family is just a really vile, disgusting chapter in American politics. I mean, look, you had a guy who was dismantling Obama's far-left environmental legacy that he left behind. And he was Scott Pruitt, viciously attacked by the environmentalists, by the media, and by Democrats. And unfortunately, they got a scalp yesterday, and they got a big victory with Pruitt resigning.
Okay, here's the thing, Julie. Let me play devil's advocate here. And by the way, I mean, somebody, a luminary such as Hugh Hewitt, agrees with you, and I want to agree with you too. But for example, there were no fewer than 14 probes, including but not limited to him maybe changing federal records about meetings. Now, granted, I remember when there were 6 inquiries into the IRS and President Obama said there wasn't a smidgen of corruption. Yeah, I'll grant you that. But weren't there some things that were meritorious against Pruitt?
I mean, tell me what. I mean, this is really... Now, the Wall Street Journal does have a good editorial today that Scott Pruitt knew that there was a big target on his back. Everything that he needed to do needed to be perfect. He could not afford one misstep. So, yes, he did things that showed some poor judgment, but a lot of the things that he did that he was accused of doing is nothing outside of normal business as usual.
Julie, isn't that the problem? Now, what I mean by that is Gina McCarthy was wretched. No question about it. 48 misappropriation of funds and the whole thing. But let's talk about this for 1 second. The EPA consists of under 15,000 employees, right? 14,700. They have a budget of $8.1 billion. What do they do all day? What do? They go for lunches. They fly around. They live like actual producers, captains of industry, and they're blowing money like they hate it, like a third trophy wife married to a billionaire, and we just keep paying it. So instead of, when he got in, I was excited. He was supposed to shake things up, and he partook in the same nonsense. So they let him hang himself with the same tradition you're speaking of, didn't they?
Well, look, I sent out a tweet yesterday. I would love it if Trump abolished the EPA. I think he should sign an executive order and eliminate the Environmental Protection Agency. I really think, we lived for many years without one. It was instituted in 1970 under Richard Nixon. The states are fully capable. Most environmental regulations and laws occur at the state and local level anyway. So, yes, Sean, I agree with you there. The things that Scott Pruitt was accused of doing, and yes, some first-class travel, spending taxpayer money to the degree that that we as Republicans or conservatives do not want our elected officials living high off the hog. We do not. My issue is, back to what you just said, Gina McCarthy, please show me one article that criticized Gina McCarthy's travel, which we know that this is the previous EPA administrator under Barack Obama. Please show me one article. We know she traveled the same way internationally that Scott Pruitt did. We know that she was cited for ethical misconduct. We know that employees at the EPA were caught with child pornography on their computers when she was part of the
Well, they
EPA.
have nothing to do. In their defense, they have nothing to do all day. They're just cruising the internet.
All right. So Julie, Sean, you just made me lose.
Yeah, it's my fault
right here.
But here's the
here's what I want to say. So you got Pruitt, who's assaulted, and everybody saw the video, in this greasy spoon in Washington. I always thought they dined at these 5-star restaurants.
That's assaulted.
He said, well, it's not battery. She didn't touch him. It's the woman comes up to his table
And that's what scared
bothers
you?
him. Sarah Huckabee Sanders has to undergo this kind of stuff. Now we see Jim Jordan, even though it might be somewhat justified. But nope, you never get NBC News reporting on Jim Jordan's very justifiable attack on the FBI. So it's all so selective, and that's what you're really driving at, is how selective the media are on what they decide to persecute.
Look, Bruce, you know this because you follow this on Twitter. I wrote an article in the month of April of this year. The New York Times wrote as many articles about Scott Pruitt as they did in 4 years about Gina McCarthy, Obama's last EPA chief. Now, this is a woman, again, who was cited for misconduct, unethical behavior. She was head of the EPA for the gold mine disaster that polluted a river system that affects 3 states in the West. No one ever asked for her to resign. So in 1 month, the New York Times wrote as many articles about Scott Pruitt as they did Gina McCarthy in 4 years. But they went after Scott Pruitt's daughter. They wrote an article about that they had to correct because they never saw this letter. They wrote about a letter that Pruitt asked for, a letter of recommendation for his daughter to go to a prominent law school. The New York Times said he used his post as EPA administrator to get that letter. The letter was from November of 2016, before he was EPA administrator. The New York Times never saw the letter. They had to write a retraction. They're going after people's families, too. This used to be out of bounds. If you think that what happened to Scott Pruitt is that he deserved it or his family deserves it, then you're going to have to explain to me how Obama's people got away with it for 8 years.
Really? Because I think that's a losing game. That surprised Jake LaMotta beat his wife. Oh, my God, I can't believe it. You know this is what's going to happen. The idea that some woman with a baby...
But it doesn't mean that we shouldn't read it.
It means you should be better.
That we should not say no. It does not mean that we should not say...
It means we're
that
better.
Obama was more corrupt than Scott Pruitt. And the reason that people are going after Scott Pruitt is because he is dismantling Obama's climate change legacy. I will say this. Scott Pruitt is a sacrificial lamb to end the international climate change movement. And to that, he will be remembered. He will be remembered well by the Republican
No,
Party.
he has served very well. Here's the thing.
He'll be forgotten by Monday. He didn't do anything.
He did stuff. He absolutely did
yes,
stuff.
He did. Well, that's ignorant.
Here's the thing.
That's ignorant.
We fight by the Marquess of Queensberry rules. And that's why, as crazy as Trump gets, like he did last night, when he said some really nutty things, like he even said that Reagan lost Wisconsin. No, he didn't. Stuff like that. I don't mind it because this is getting back at the Democrats for everything. Donald Trump is reparations, as far as I'm concerned, for all the stuff that the Democrats have gotten away with. We don't want to fight that way anymore. Obama said, they bring a knife, you bring a gun. Well, we're bringing a howitzer.
That's exactly right. And I mean, I think to dismiss people's anger at how the media treated the Obama administration, look at now. So you have Scott Pruitt out, who's vilified. You still have Obama officials who are walking around making money giving speeches. Eric Holder, Lois Lerner, Loretta Lynch. I mean, go through the list, James Comey, of corrupt Obama administration officials who are writing books, who never had an ounce of bad publicity, thanks to the mainstream media, New York Times, Washington Post, CNN. We have not forgotten that. That is not irrelevant when it comes to what's happening to Scott Pruitt.
What?
It is exactly the point of why people like Scott Pruitt or people like me and other conservative outlets or writers are defending him, because the same rules don't apply. And that's why Trump is doing what he's doing, and that's why people support him. We want the same rules to apply to a Scott Pruitt that didn't apply to Hillary Clinton or Eric Holder or Gina McCarthy or hundreds of other Obama administration
Why didn't
officials
Scott Pruitt
that got
fire
away with
half the
work.
workforce of the EPA?
you're
Why didn't he
asking-
slash the budget by 50%? Why didn't he put restraints on
can't
what the
do
EPA can
everything.
do? Come on, this is a revolving door nonsense, and you complain like your hair's on fire. It's nonsense.
Well, how could you explain
He
how
did
could
nothing.
he fire federal workers? How could he fire
Yeah,
federal
really, it's very
workers?
difficult.
I'm the head
Sean
of it.
is
I
a
decided
purist.
to slash
He's
the budget
impossible.
by 50%, and half of you who have been hired under the Obama administration, go home.
This man is a purist.
That's how
He's
you do it.
impossible to deal
Oh,
with.
help me. I'm
I
chained by the
apologize.
system.
Julie, I apologize for my partner today. And you know, just for that, Sean, I'm not going to let you light your cigar in this
All
no
right.
smoking
Very good.
environment
The
like I
EPA
was
won't
going to
have
do
it.
that.
Yeah, all right. Go ahead.
You take your $10 cigar and smoke it
All
somewhere
right,
else.
fair enough.
All right.
11.
Julie Kelly of American Greatness, you were great as usual. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Have a great
Julie
weekend.
Kelly, Orland Park's very own.
She's wonderful.
Local.
And I'm not blaming her. I'm blaming
Bruce
the
Wolf
nonsense.
and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy on AM 560, The Answer.
Connect with Dan and Amy on the AM 560 The Answer mobile app. Just text the word app to 64636 to download the app today.
Now you know why I'm mad at the weather. Sunny with a high. It's not going to be 77 like Justin said. No, even though he's got his mom's sweater on, he thinks he knows everything. It's going to be 82. Tonight, clear. Low around 59. Saturday, sunny with a high near 81. All right, Kevin, I don't even care about Saturday night. I don't care anymore because I'm disgusted that the EPA is doing exactly what it's going to do. Now, where is it screwing up traffic? Kevin Henry.
Well, in Cicero, on Cicero, there's an accident at 31st Street and in Antioch, 83 at North Avenue, dealing with another wreck there. Kennedy inbound, just slow from the Hubbard Tunnel, 21 from O'Hare, 11 from the Junction 8 Express outbound. All your delays coming past the junction, Foster to Sayre. It's going to be 22 back to the airport. Aiken from 390 at 40 minutes, 24 from Anaheim, jammed on the extension, St. Charles to the Tri-State, and Costner to the Burn. Your outbound trip slows from 17 to Manheim. It's an 18-minute trip out there, 31 out to 390. Stevenson in, stopping and going from Central to Kedzie, 45 from 355, 35 from the Tri-State. Inbound Ryan, you're taking 25 minutes from 95th Street, heavy from 31st. And the northbound Tri-State still slow, 88 to 290, a full westbound ramp. I'm Kevin Henry in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Pain drugs are addictive and have side effects. Get off the drugs and get rid of the pain. You don't need to live with chronic pain. Let's repeat that. You do not have to live in pain. Chronic pain is the worst from an accident or pain that just develops. Dr. Ken Candido is one of the most respected and successful pain doctors in the world. Dr. Candido will work to find the source of your chronic pain and fix it. He teaches pain management around the world and has been voted one of Chicago's best pain doctors several times. Okay, you get it. He's the pain doctor you need. Dr. Candido of Chicago Anesthesia and Pain Specialists will help you get off the pain medication and all of its side effects. You can get your life back. Drugs mask the pain. Find the source and fix it. Call Dr. Ken Candido and make an appointment with a cutting-edge, respected, and successful pain physician. Go to mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com. Thousands have been helped with their chronic pain. You can be the next one. Get the phone number and all the info at mypainchicago.com. This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity for upstream-ideas.com. You're welcome, America. And that's not a statement a resident of Illinois gets to make very often with sincerity, but the nation owes a debt of gratitude to two Illinoisans who advance the cause of liberty for millions more Americans through their courage to dissent. Pam Harris and Mark Janis are their names. Pam is the mother of a young man with developmental disabilities who resisted SEIU's attempt to force parents of children with disabilities into its union, literally pitting parents against their children. Pam took her case all the way to the Supreme Court, which ruled in her favor in 2014. That set the table for Mark Janis, a child support specialist for the state of Illinois who challenged his forced membership in and financing of AFSCME. Mark took his case all the way to the Supreme Court, which ruled in his favor in June. Without Harris, there would have been no Janis. Without Janis, public sector workers in 22 states would still be second-class citizens with respect to their First Amendment rights. Courage begets courage. As I know them both, I can tell you what they would say about the history they've made. Don't worry about remembering our names. Focus instead on emulating our example.
Make your home an ADT home and help protect against break-ins, fire, and carbon monoxide. Get our lowest rate for fast response monitoring, starting at just $28.99 a month. That's about $1 a day from the most trusted name in home security. Get ADT's tested, trusted, and proven security and service, now at a great value. Don't wait. Call today. ADT. Always there. Now everywhere. Requires 36-month monitoring contract. Early termination, taxes, and install fees apply. Certain markets excluded. See terms and pricing at ADT.com.
Today, business happens here, and virtually anywhere. Because today, innovative companies are reinventing the way business happens. And they need people who can keep up. With the expertise and technology to get packages to over 150 million delivery points. So, who can help you deliver the future of commerce? The United States Postal Service. See why we deliver more e-commerce packages to homes than anyone at USPS.com/future.
AM 560. The Answer.
Karaoke Friday.
Justin
For
thinks I
years,
scared off all the listeners.
I had no idea that this song, what Brown Sugar was about. I actually thought it was about a Domino's product.
Really?
I mean, I had no idea what a metaphor was.
Well, you're wearing bent glasses that you said, and I'm not confused by anything. What happened to the donut? You ate that like a sergeant.
Thanks to Debbie for the
Did a
donuts.
great job,
Debbie's
detective.
Donuts. Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy. So I had you guess we're playing The Price is Right on the jobs numbers.
How'd I do,
You
baby?
had guessed 215,000 jobs, a 3.8% unemployment. The actual retail price, 213,000 jobs, so you overbid on that.
Oh, I'm winner.
So you're a loser there.
Oh.
And then the unemployment rate is actually up to 4%. So you underbid, but you're supposed to so you lose there because
I lost on
you should have
both.
under.
What'd the participation rate do? Was I right on that?
I didn't see a statistic on it. All I
they
saw
wanna
was the
hide that.
generalization that even with the labor participation rate significantly below it where it was before the recession, so then it goes on from there. So we still haven't recovered.
That's
and
like-
it doesn't give the number of opioid deaths last
That's like
month.
touting
Yeah.
how many people, oh, look, there was less people filed for unemployment. However, we've had an increase in disability. Oh.
Right.
I mean, come on. It's all
Look,
a
there's
charade, a
th-
charade,
there-
if you will.
There's a reason that life expectancy in the United States has gone down, I think, for 3 straight years. The birth rate is down in the United States. Essentially, this country's committing suicide. We're just not announcing it. It's a slow,
Don't
it's
let
a
this
drip,
lead
drip,
to immigration. You're going to let the lines light up.
Oh, that we need immigrants? We need legal immigrants.
Yeah.
We don't need illegal immigrants.
We need a streamlined system.
Yeah.
We need a streamlined
We're
system.
agreed on that.
All right. Well, they'll get
We're
a
not
lot of hot button.
We're not like that Brooklyn woman who won and it's taken the Democratic Party off to the left fringe.
Oh,
Donald Trump has captured the center.
Oh, he's
the middle of the
he's
roaders
golden.
have no choice.
Golden. He will be the president absolutely next term. Not even a question.
I mean, despite the fact that he said something like this yesterday.
But let me just tell you, the Democrats, we call them the Democrat Party. You know why? The Democratic Party sounds too good. It sounds better, doesn't it? I always hate saying the Democrat Party, and a lot of people say you made a mistake. Well, actually, the name is the Democrat Party. The Democratic Party sounds too good, so I don't want to use it, okay?
And you know what?
And he was listening to us yesterday morning because we had that very discussion where I was trying to say, call them the Democratic Party because that's what they call themselves. And you insist on
It's-
the Limbaughian casting of the Democrat Party.
They're Democrats. But the beauty of what he does, and it's beautiful, is he recognizes that he can do their plan of facade economics better than they can, and he can sell it. So he's going to be in there because
selling
he's got
tariffs. We have
he's got
$34
the
billion
less-
from the Chinese are entering into a tariff war with us.
Listen, when you've got
That's
Stephen
a Democratic.
Moore,
That's part of the Democratic platform.
when you've
tariffs.
got former Austrian economic specialists
Mm-hmm.
agreeing with what they know is a failure, you've won. You've Jim Jonesed the entire American.
How did you
population.
get me onto tariffs again?
I-
You always pull me back. I always feel like
Every
Al
time you think
Pacino.
you're out.
Al Pacino in Godfather 3.
Pull you back in, baby. Because it's all that matters. Don't you understand? Like this girl with the EPA. Oh, it's a terrible. Yeah, but what'd you do to hurt it? Did you
We
shoot
did
a hole?
hurt it a
did you
little
shoot
bit.
a hole in the boat? No.
We did hurt
He
it
didn't
a little
do
bit.
anything.
Hey,
And
you
Scott Pruitt, no one will remember his name. He let some hippie with a baby in her arms scare him. Little girl.
You know what bothers me? And this is a sudden right turn right here. So this former Thai Navy SEAL dies for lack of oxygen. They're trying to
Really?
save these soccer team members who are stuck in this cave, and it looks like with the rains coming and everything, it looks like they're
This
gonna
isn't good.
They're not going to be able to rescue these kids.
I was.
and that's really horrible. It's so sad.
But listen, I've
Yeah.
been in resort. You know, right? You ever go on vacation? They got the resort where they stick that thing on your head for the guys that don't know how to scuba dive.
Right.
And you can talk the way we're talking. It's a bubble. I'm not kidding. you.
Right.
I said it in a joking fashion yesterday, but I'm dead serious. You cannot get these kids those costumes to go out.
They can't. Apparently, you have to be an expert diver, and even the expert divers have trouble negotiating what they have
So
to.
2018, this is the best we got.
No,
Hope it
here's-
doesn't rain.
Now, here's the thing:
Yeah, that makes me feel
CNN
good
used to
about.
cover these things wall to wall, like the airline disasters and such.
Uh-huh.
They're not covering it like they should.
Listen.
People would be tuning into this on CNN.
When your
They're
your
not
lead
covering it.
host is a third generation communist by the name of Cuomo, I mean, if you got stock at CNN, sell it.
Anyway, those kinds of things. And I don't like to look. You know, when I'm on the expressway and there's an accident, I try not to. I fail. I wind up looking, but I
pull
hate
over
being
and light a
part-
cigar. I'm
I
looking
ha-
for the red stuff.
I
Love it.
I hate being part of a gaper's block.
Do you really?
Even though you wait for 25 minutes to actually get to look at it for 2 seconds, I just feel guilty, like I'm looking in on
I
somebody
get
else's
mad when
pain.
it's over, and I'm like, look at these idiots. It made me sit there for 40 minutes for that.
I'm weird that way. I used to tell my kids not
see
to
an old
watch
cowboy
the
movie.
opening rounds of American Idol because basically that was just Simon making
That's
fun
Jewish
of people.
guilt.
It
You
was
got
Simon
Jewish
making fun of people with learning disabilities who couldn't really sing, and he would make fun of them, and that just makes you feel good about yourself that somebody else is less fortunate. There, but for the grace of God, go I. And that's not the way to live your life.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. I'll
Said
take
one of
your
the
advice.
meanest men in Chicago media. Me.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah. When I lose a deal and I'm worried about next month, I drive through a bad neighborhood to feel good about myself.
You know what I got to say to that? Oh, we're really setting it up wonderfully.
Shut up.
Okay, there. And 3, 2, 1.
It took a long time.
Okay. So, Steph,
who's our next guest?
Our next guest, you want to prep for this during the break? We've got Adam Schuster from it's one of Dan Proft's shell groups, the Illinois Policy Institute, I believe. Doesn't he run
Oh.
all of these things? So,
I thought it was the orchestra Schuster, no?
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, because I like to do my preparation like 1 minute
You
before
make
the
Proft
guest.
mad. You're going to lose your pass here,
no,
brother.
This is the advice that Al Michaels gave to Dan Patrick when he was nervous about covering the Olympics.
Mhm.
How am I going to cover the Olympics? There's 85,000 athletes' names I have to learn. And Al Michaels said, all you have to do is prepare for the next segment. That's all you have to do. Just keep your eye on the prize. The next step.
Now you've explained why you have the same windbreaker on for 25 years. All right.
Okay.
What about
You've
Dan in
explained it
Libertyville?
to me. What? I'm sorry?
We got callers, baby. As a
we got
caller,
call.
focus on the lines.
All right. Okay. All right. Very quickly here. Wait, we got to go to a break in a second here. I'm losing control of the show.
Oh, my
right now.
word. And you wanted to sit in the captain's seat.
I'm hitting the wrong.
Look at this.
I can't. Oh, here I got it.
Yeah.
Dan from Libertyville. Good morning.
Good morning. You know, I'm listening to you guys talk about Trump and how he doesn't know what he's doing with his tariffs. And I'm sorry, but you guys don't know what you're talking about any more than the Democrats.
How so?
Look what happened with the telecom company that we put some sanctions on. China was going to lose 10,000 jobs overnight.
Angela Merkel.
All Trump has to do, can I finish, please?
Sure. Yeah.
If Trump were to say, we will no longer allow you to use our banks for U.S. currency because you have been ripping off our patents and all of our technology, and you've been manipulating your currency. So until you straighten that out, you cannot use U.S. currency. We would bankrupt China in 6 months.
What if they cashed in their bonds?
Thank you, Dan.
What if they cashed in their bonds?
How much do we owe them? Like every day,
and
$4 billion
they
a
manipulate
day.
their currency, but we don't. You're still doing quantitative easing.
I don't think.
Go put your Caddyshack hat on and your feet up and bang the tambourine.
I don't think this mercantilist philosophy works. Trade wars don't really work. But I see, maybe you don't give China most favored nation status or whatever they call it now. It's a complicated thing.
It's not that
All right,
complicated. It's
Staff
a shell
announcer,
game.
Since I've already blown through several commercial breaks right now, what should I do here, staff announcer?
Well, why don't you just tell the people? Let's do a tease right here. Let the people know what's next.
Let the people know what's next and then toss to the news? Is that what we should do?
I think we should do that.
Okay, and then we're going to go over into the next show with all the commercials that we should have run.
What are you doing to my show? We were running on 8 cylinders. You really screwed this up.
Everything just screeched to a halt in the last 2 minutes.
Word.
All right, coming up after the top of the hour, we're going to be talking this is the anniversary, I believe, of the tax hike in Illinois. We're going to talk about that.
Ed Schultz is still dead.
And then we're going to be talking about who will be the next Supreme Court justice.
Not
we
gonna
will
be Ed
tell you
Schultz.
that. Now let's go to the newsroom and Tom Beck.
Gentlemen, here are the stories we're watching today. A protest aimed at shutting down the Dan riot is still on for tomorrow. Repair and cleanup continue after severe thunderstorms yesterday. A man and a 5-year-old girl are dead in a possible case of domestic murder-suicide in Chicago's Douglas Park. Time now for an update from Fox News on AM 560 WIND Chicago.
The unemployment rate rises. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Even though more Americans were hired than expected last month, Fox's Jenny Casola details the just released report live.
Dave, the biggest surprise is how many people went back to work or were looking for work in June. The labor force participation rate rose to 62.9%. That pushed the unemployment rate higher to 4%. The number of new jobs created was 213,000 more than expected, but this report is not raising concerns about inflation. You may have made a little more money, though not much more. Average hourly earnings are up 2.7% from a year ago. Dave?
Ginny, on Wall Street, stock futures are lower as the U.S.-China trade dispute escalates.
With the bank that everybody's stealing from.
President Trump at a rally in Montana. New tariffs on $34 billion worth of Chinese imports went into effect today. And China says it retaliated immediately, targeting the same amount of American goods. The president also said at the rally he's confident about North Korea giving up nuclear weapons.
We signed a wonderful paper saying they're going to denuclearize their whole thing. It's going to all happen.
Secretary of State Pompeo has wrapped up talks today in North Korea. He'll have more tomorrow amid reports the North Koreans may be expanding their nuclear work. Time may be running out to rescue the 12 boys and their soccer coach from that Thai cave. More rain that could make flooding worse is forecast tomorrow, and oxygen levels inside the cave are dwindling. A volunteer ex-Navy SEAL died trying to deliver air canisters along the rescue route.
Inside the cave is tough. On the way back from setting up oxygen bottles, Petty Officer First Class Saman passed out.
And that's the Thai SEAL commander. Despite that danger, they may try to help the boys swim and dive their way out today or tomorrow. It's up to 33 Chinese tourists dead off the Thailand coast, and the search for others still missing continues after their boat overturned. Fox News, fair and balanced.
Good morning, 71 degrees in Chicago at 8:02. On AM 560, The Answer. I'm Tom Beck in for Mike Scott. A protest aimed at shutting down the Dan Ryan Expressway is still on for tomorrow. The Chicago Tribune reports Father Michael Flager said yesterday, quote, "We're still on target to go." He says it's a call for elected leaders to fix schools and create better job prospects to reduce violence. State police will be on hand trying to stop protesters from getting on the expressway. Today will be a day of repair and cleanup for some following yesterday's severe thunderstorms. Strong winds tore off parts of a roof of a warehouse in Bedford Park and pushed over a semi. ABC7 reports Naperville's Ribfest was temporarily shut down twice yesterday due to separate storms. Some concession booths and tents were knocked down by strong winds.
There wasn't too much damage. Our fire's okay, all our banners are okay. As soon as we get the all clear, we're just going to hang them right back up and get right back to business.
And street flooding was reported in Chicago. Thousands of ComEd customers lost power and dozens of flights were canceled. A man and a 5-year-old girl are dead in suspected murder-suicide in Chicago's Douglas Park neighborhood. Police say firefighters found the bodies last night while battling a fire in the 1600 block of South California. 8 years in prison, the sentence for one of 4 defendants in the torture of a mentally disabled teenager. Jordan Hill of Carpentersville pled guilty to a hate crime. The defendants were all black. The victim was white. The torture was shown live on Facebook. 3 defendants are now sentenced. Cook County State's Attorney Kim Fox has dropped a theft charge against the Chicago police officer who shot and killed Quintonia LeGrier and Betty Jones 3 years ago. Sun-Times reports the move comes as Officer Robert Rielmo is set for trial Monday on misdemeanor battery charges after he got into a fight at a restaurant. He could still be fired or disciplined for the LeGrier and Jones shooting. Sports. Cubs begin a 3-game series with the Reds at Wrigley this afternoon. Astros beat the White Sox 4-3 in Houston. News is brought to you by Aruba Tourism. Imagine if your daily commute was from your beach chair right next to the crystal blue Caribbean Sea. It's time for an escape to sunny Aruba. Hop a daily nonstop flight from O'Hare to One Happy Island. Plan your Aruba vacation today at Aruba.com. AM 560 News Time, 8:04. Time now for the AM 560 Business Beat from the Fox Business Network. Here's Jenny Casola.
From the Fox Business Network, futures are modestly lower after the U.S. imposed tariffs on Chinese imports, and the Chinese government responded with its own duties on imports from the U.S. China is the U.S.'s largest single country trading partner, followed by Canada and Mexico. Francis Loon, chief executive of GEO Securities in Hong Kong, says the market's acting very calmly, but of course the talk of a trade war has already depressed the market for about 1,000 points in the past month already. The markets will also be influenced today by the monthly employment report being released by the Labor Department. Fashion brand Perry Ellis has turned down a new bid to buy out the company and take it private. Randa Accessories offered $28 a share. The Dow was up 181 yesterday. NASDAQ gained 83, S&P up 23. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Jenny Cosola.
AM 560 News Time, 8:05, where the cars will have the answer in 2 minutes on AM 560. The answer.
Larry Elder explains how important another Supreme Court pick from Trump is.
Justice Kennedy is retiring now so that Donald Trump has enough time while the Republicans are still in the majority to confirm somebody equally, if not more conservative, if and when Ruth Bader Ginsburg retires during the president's term. That could dramatically shift the court. Right now, they are doing a prayer vigil over Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
The Larry Elder Show, weeknights at 7, right before Jay Sekulow at 9 on AM 560. The answer.
Make your home an ADT home and help protect against break-ins, fire, and carbon monoxide. Get our lowest rate for fast response monitoring, starting at just $28.99 a month. That's about $1 a day from the most trusted name in home security. Get ADT's tested, trusted, and proven security and service, now at a great value. Don't wait. Call today. ADT. Always there. Now everywhere. Requires 36-month monitoring contract. Early termination, taxes, and install fees apply. Certain markets excluded. See terms and pricing at ADT.com.
Now through July 6th, it's the Blinds.com 4th of July sale. Blinds.com is the easiest way to reimagine your home with brand new, made-to-order custom blinds. Plus, every order gets free samples, free shipping, and a free online design consultation. For a limited time, you could save up to 50%, plus take an additional 5% off at Blinds.com, promo code LIGHT. Hurry, this sale ends Friday, July 6th. Save up to 50%, plus take an additional 5% off at Blinds.com, promo code LIGHT.
That's Dot. She's here to greet me after a long day. She's the only one who wants to be near me when I'm sick. She's my best friend. Thanks to folks like South Suburban Humane Society, Dot went from living on the street to a dog that wears clothes. Yep, I'm that guy. So how did I get so lucky? Before I met Dot, I spent time at South Suburban. Giving to a nonprofit isn't always about giving money or donating food and supplies, although that's appreciated too. South Suburban Pets just want your love. We encourage you to come by the facility, take a dog for a walk, play with Dot's cat friends, or even foster a pet to keep your flexibility. If you're interested in how you can volunteer or donate, visit them at southsuburbanhumane.org. That's right, Dot. South Suburban is a 501c3, which means all donations are tax deductible for individuals and businesses. Text DONATE to 708-866-0065 or visit southsuburbanhumane.org. South Suburban Humane Society, creating a better world for pets and their people.
At 8:08, checking roads from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Kevin.
Thanks, Tom. In Grays Lake, a crash on 83 south of Center, another on 83 in Antioch at North Avenue. Grant Park, Taste of Chicago closures, Congress, Jackson, and Columbus. They're going to have Roosevelt closed tomorrow. Everything should be reopened by the 16th. The Millennium Art Festival downtown closes Lake between Michigan and Stetson until Sunday. The Kennedy inbound, slow from Hubbard to the Byrne Interchange, 21 from O'Hare, 11 from the Junction Express, wide open. Outbound tight from Foster to Sayre. Give yourself 22 back to the airport. The inbound Ike is heavy on the extension. St. Charles to the Tri-State, slow again. Costner to the Burns, 40 minutes from 390, 24 from Manheim. Outbound had an earlier crash at 25th. That's gone, but the delay remains back to Harlem. 29 to Manheim, 42 to 390. Inbound Stevenson, 44 minutes, and the inbound Ryan, 27. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Kevin Henry on AM 560, The Answer.
Kevin, thanks. More of Chicago's Morning Answer coming your way next. Now your forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Here's meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Today mostly sunny, high 79, clear night, low 60. Sunny tomorrow, high 82, clear night, low 63. Full day of sunshine Sunday with a high 87 and a low 66. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
Right now, fair, 71 at O'Hare, 70 along Chicago's lakefront. Next news updates at 8:30. Continuous coverage of the latest news, traffic and weather at 560theanswer.com. Chicago's Morning Answer continues now on AM 560, The Answer.
Watch today's show live right now on the Income Store live video stream at 560theanswer.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Yeah, I sound like Elton John's organ. I know Donald Trump mentioned Elton John's organ yesterday, and I don't know
awkward pause.
Where was he going with that? Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy, and
bet you Schuster knows.
Well, here we'll talk to them in just 1 second. Silverback Marketing tweeted to me, why don't they, the people of Thailand, divert the water, pump in oxygen, and pump out the water in the cave? They can pump out 1 million gallons an hour. I think they're doing something like that there. But I sat there and I said, why don't we just send in the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers or somebody? There's got to be.
How about just a scuba diving costume with a big bubble so the kids could breathe like Sequest?
We don't need the Marshall Plan or whatever. We just need good old Yankee ingenuity to go in there. And I hate the feeling of helplessness about that. This is bugging me. I must be getting soft.
Mm-hmm.
All right. 1 year ago, Saturday, tomorrow. Do you remember what happened a year ago?
I'm sure it didn't end well for the Illinoisans.
The passage of the 32% permanent income tax hike. Boy, time flies when you're having fun. Adam Schuster of the Illinois Policy Institute. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. It's not an anniversary worth celebrating, but here we are.
So tell us, obviously it's worked very well because Governor Rauner is on his way to re-election, and there's absolutely no problem whatsoever. We were supposed to have a balanced budget, pay off our backlog of bills, deal with long-term fiscal issues. We've done it all, right?
Absolutely not. So what we've seen is that they used the tax hike money to go and pay for new spending. They did nothing to pay down our long-term debts, whether it's the pension debt or the backlog of bills. Now, the backlog of bills is smaller now, but it's only because they borrowed about $7 billion to pay it off. So essentially, it's like paying one credit card balance with a different credit card. And what we've seen is
you don't have a job.
Yeah, exactly. The only money they get comes from taxpayers, and they took about $5 billion more out of taxpayers' pockets last year. It's done absolutely nothing to balance the budget in the first 2 years it's passed. but we have seen that our economy has gotten even worse since the tax hike. So when we look around the nation, the whole country kept growing at about a steady rate. And as soon as Illinois passed the tax hike in 2017, we took a dip at about 34% in our jobs growth rate.
So, Adam, I'm a real estate broker. It's what I do now. I'm retired from the Mercantile Exchange, and I have a real estate company here and in South Florida. I go back and forth and back and forth. So 2 things. Number one, I've noticed that in the used to be called well-off neighborhoods, the real estate signs in the front lawn are starting to look like it's always 4th of July. And I'm noticing that the people who can seem to be moving out of state. What are the long-term ramifications of the real people in the economy leaving and the fake economy of the municipal workers and subsidized companies staying? How does that end?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, the fact that we're driving people out of the state with our overtaxation, it's sort of like a death spiral, because the more people we drive out of the state, the higher the taxes are on the people who remain in a relative sense to pay for the same size of government, and that's just completely unsustainable. And to make it so, Illinois is one of only two states in the nation that's seen 4 straight years of population growth. But to make matters worse, when you look at where we're losing population, unlike what some people will tell you, it's not people retiring to go to Florida or California or somewhere warmer. It's our prime working age population that we're losing at the fastest rate. So that's, people who should be looking to buy a home here, to start a career here, to plant a family here. But, they look forward and they can't see, a responsible way for them to plan their futures in the state.
Oh, tut, Adam. Here, I've got the solution. Think about this. A very steep progressive income tax. Now, wait, hold on a second. Here's what you do. You tax the rich even more. They've got the money. There's an endless supply of them. And don't give me your nonsense about how it's going to make millionaires flee the state and it's going to actually retard growth, and a progressive income tax never works. Don't give me your nonsense backed up by data. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah,
I can't hear you,
people hate
Adam.
to hear the data about the progressive. That's actually the reason why most of the people pushing for a progressive income tax won't put out what the rates would be. But we can look at, the rates that have been introduced. There was a bill introduced by Robert Martwick that actually, put his money where his mouth is, or put our money where his mouth is, and put out a rate schedule. And whether we look at that or we look at neighboring states that have progressive taxes, what we'd see is that it's not just a tax on the rich, and that the median income family in Illinois, so the middle class, would pay more under every one of these plans. So it's a Trojan horse.
Are you sure that's the reason? I thought it was that trust fund babies don't have any income and are not affected by progressive income tax, and not just the trust fund babies who need an assistant to bathe, but actual trust fund babies of all kinds who are all of a sudden so self-loathing and hate their mommies and daddies so much they become communists. You sure that's the reason?
Yeah. When you look at essentially where state income comes from, it's sort of a bell curve, right? So it's bigger in the middle and it's smaller on each end, and that's because
sounds like Pritzker.
Wealthy people.
Go ahead. I couldn't avoid it.
Well, wealthy people have a lot of money relative to an individual, but there's actually not as many of them as the lawmakers seem to think there are. So, when they're looking to raise taxes, essentially where the money is in the middle class. So they can't have a progressive tax plan that both cuts taxes on the middle class, like they're saying, and raises more money to do all these things they're promising, pay off the backlog of bills, pay down our pension debts, and, a whole bunch of new spending on top of that. It's just the math doesn't add up.
All right, Adam. Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish.
Cut the guest
I was
off.
just going to say, I think that the silver lining on the anniversary of this tax hike is that everybody should now have all the evidence we'll ever need that tax hikes won't solve our problem, that they're going to harm the economy and make it harder for us to solve it in the long run, and that we need to go after our true problem, which is a spending problem.
All right, here's the thing, and we'll talk to you about this next time Sean and I are on, which I believe is going to be Shrove Tuesday.
Long
I'm not
shot,
sure.
that is.
But here's my solution, to just put this in your hat, for a while. let's increase property taxes. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk
See you
about
in
next
bankruptcy
time.
court, Adam.
Schuster, Illinois Policy Institute. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
Have a good one, guys. Thanks.
Adam Schuster, Bruce Wolf, and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy on AM 560, The Answer.
You're listening to Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
That's all right. In Illinois, not everything's not going to, it's going to be sunny today. It's going to get up to 82. It's not all bad. So go enjoy your unemployment checks. The winds are going to be 10 to 15 miles an hour out of who cares. Tonight, clear with a low around 59. Northeast, northwest, 5 to 10 mile per hour. And then Saturday, sunny with a high all the way up to 81. And the nice thing about Saturday, there's very little traffic jams. But today, we need Kevin Henry.
Yeah, Sean, it's ugly on the inbound. Stevenson, a couple right lanes blocked at Cicero. You're solid back to Central. 45 in building from 355, 35 from the Tri-State. Outbound side, though, no problems. The Eden's clear both ways. Kennedy in from O'Hare, 25 minutes, 15 from Montrose. Slow from north into downtown. Express save you about 5, but the Ohio feeder into downtown also slow. 22 on your outbound trip to the airport. The inbound Ike at 40 minutes from 390, 22 from Manheim. Out to Manheim, 1932. Out to 390. Inbound on the Ryan, jammed in the locals from the Stevenson, and the Express from 31st is a 25-minute trip in. No delays on Lakeshore Drive. The tollway's moving okay, and clear on 80 through Joliet, as well as the roads in Indiana. I'm Kevin Henry at the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Optimize your digestive health with the broad spectrum of vegetarian enzymes in Quantum Nutrition Lab's Quantum Digest and Quantum Zymes. Buy 2, get the third one free. Call 888-588-7578 or visit us online at qnlabs.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Bob Marshall, PhD, host of Healthline. Tune in and hear the latest breakthrough information for you and your family.
Join Dr. Bob Marshall for Healthline, Saturday morning at 10 on AM 560, The Answer.
I'm Shalom Klein. Join me each week for the Get Down to Business radio show. The show is packed with ideas that will inspire as you search for best practices to grow your business. Whether you are an experienced entrepreneur or just learning the ropes, Get Down to Business will tackle the issues affecting your everyday work life. Get Down to Business is powered by Tandem HR. Exceptional workplace, exceptional people. Listen each week to Get Down to Business with me, Shalom Klein. Heard Sunday afternoons at 6 right here on AM 560.
If you did not purchase health insurance coverage during the 2017 open enrollment, I can help you purchase a PPO health insurance plan at any time during the year. This is Tom Marabali, your health insurance advocate and independent producer for Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois and other health insurance carriers. If you are between the ages of 19 and 64, you are automatically paying for maternity coverage whether you want the coverage or not. If you are a non-smoking 50-year-old male or female living in the city of Chicago, the monthly premium rate for a 100% tax-deductible health savings account PPO plan would be $590 per month. But I can show you how to eliminate the mandatory maternity benefit and lower your monthly premiums down to approximately $240 per month. To see if you qualify or for more information, call me, Tom Marabali, at 630-863-3477. That's 630-863-3477.
Hey, if you're missing teeth or even a single tooth, then dental implants are a fantastic way to regain your confidence, your smile, and your dental health. Hey, Sean Hannity here. So what are you waiting for? Find out now if implants are for you. Successful implants don't come from an implant factory. Skill, treatment, installation, those are the main differences for successful lifelong implants. That's why you need to see Dr. Neruzzi at Fox River Periodontics. Dr. Neruzzi is the recommended choice of dentists that don't do implants themselves. You need the experience, the skill, and honesty that over 25 years of dental implants brings, and you're going to be happy with your implant. It's not a mass production procedure because everyone is different. And Dr. Neruzzi wants to talk to you about dental implants today.
This is Dr. Neruzzi. I personally guarantee your happiness with your implants.
Call Fox River Periodontics at 630-232-7400. They're online at implantsforme.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
I'm Mark Gastineau. I played in the NFL for 10 years. I was diagnosed with CTE, with dementia, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's. The fruits and vegetables that we take from Balance of Nature is the best thing that we could ever do. And I'm calling in now to order extra because my wife has been taking mine because she sees a difference in me. It is a wonderful thing that Balance of Nature is doing. I hear the testimonies on the radio, but I'm a testimony for myself. And the fruits and vegetables, if I don't take them every single day, my day is not going to go the same. So God bless you, and thank you for what you've done for my wife and I.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
With $226 million in dividends declared since inception, their record speaks for itself. At Mag Mutual, one of the leading providers of medical professional liability insurance, you're more than a policyholder, you're a policy owner. As an owner, they believe you should benefit from your company's success, which is why they strive to return as much as they can back to their policy owners. Mag Mutual policyholders have received annual dividends every year since 2007, and they are continually looking for ways to provide greater value to policy owners in the practice, business, and regulation of medicine. In addition, they set aside millions on their financial statements exclusively for their Owner Circle loyalty program. Over 20,000 physicians and healthcare organizations are currently benefiting from Mag Mutual ownership. Are you? Visit them on the web at magmutual.com.
For more information about Mag Mutual in Illinois, please contact Mike Blaum at Medical Risk Services at 630-821-6002 or by email at mblaum@medrisk1.com. Visit their website at medrisk1.com.
Being successful in business means overcoming enormous obstacles to serve your customers and community. AM 560, The Answer, wants to shine a spotlight on businesses that are thriving. We want to celebrate their success by finding out what makes these businesses unique, successful, and what we can learn from them. We want to know how you built it. Presented by Chicagoland Waterproofing. To tell us how you built it, go to 560theanswer.com/built. That's 560theanswer.com/BUILT. Sponsored by Signature Bank and Ozinga.
Hey guys, Mike Moylan of Smart Money Talk.
And I'm his co-host, Rob Curvin.
Join Robert and me each week for intellectual discussions on your wealth acumen.
Translation? Join us each week for Smart Money Talk with Mike and Rob.
Smart Money Talk brought to you by Advanced Planning Advisors, helping you achieve financial security.
Send your questions to smartmoneytalk.net. That's smartmoneytalk.net. Then start your morning with Smart Money Talk with Mike Moylan and me, Rob Curvin.
Saturday mornings at 6 right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Mike Gallagher again. Yep, I'm incredibly grateful that my friend Hugh Hewitt told me all about Relief Factor. I was having lower back pain. Hugh had been in pain. And you know what? I tried Relief Factor for about 2.5 weeks. My lower back pain was entirely eliminated. It's a great feeling to share with you the great news, knowing that tens of thousands of others are now in less or no pain because they too ordered the 3-week quick start for $19.95. If you're in pain, simply go to relieffactor.com or call 800-500-8384.
Hey, it's Jason Benetti for ready.illinois.gov with a message for the thousands of Illinoisans with functional needs. Needless to say, everyone needs to have an emergency disaster plan and disaster kit, but that plan and kit may look a lot different for those with functional needs. Learn how to make a plan and a kit that best serves your needs and the needs of your family and even your pets. At ready.illinois.gov, there's tips for caregivers and seniors too. Make a plan and make a kit. Find out how at ready.illinois.gov. That's ready.illinois.gov.
Sponsored by IEMA.
AM 560, The Answer.
Was that just a White Sox game I heard? Oh, it's the White Sox announcer.
Talk about who
Jason
cares.
Benetti. Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy. And now it's time for the man that Dan Proft, if he ever would take his call, would probably call him the suck toy for the left.
Yeah.
John from Mundelein. Good morning, John.
Thank you. You know, that's the one thing you guys have over Proft is you're at least not terrified of taking my phone call. I imagine that Dan Proft is.
It's not terrified, John. He's all full on stupid.
Dan is not here to defend himself, so go
He's
ahead,
laying
John.
by a pool in a Speedo and a blazer.
Enlighten us, socialists.
I'm loving it. Go ahead,
Listen,
John.
you guys were parsing about whether or not it's Democrat or Democratic Party, and I want to tell you, The President of the United States, the cowardly liar, the snowflake in chief, Donald Trump, has not had a press conference in over 500 days to explain his lies to the American people. So instead, he's had 15 rallies for his drooling
John,
white
can I ask you a question? Here, let me ask you a question. Here's the thing. You said he had an impromptu press conference on that other White House lawn. Remember the reporter asked him how he could ask.
Let him attack the Caucasians and let me destroy
Hold
him.
on a second. He said, somebody asked him, how could you praise Kim Jong-un? And he said, the reason I'm doing it is I don't want us to get nuked. Now, if that wasn't the most honest answer, he basically said, I'm lying about Kim Jong-un, praising him, because I don't want us to get nuked.
He admires Kim Jong-un.
He doesn't really.
He admires Putin. He's an authoritarian. He loves those guys.
Oh, wait a minute. But you as a socialist aren't an authoritarian?
Listen, you as a fascist won't let me finish the thought. Here's the deal.
I like it. Speak,
the problem,
stupid.
John. Here's the problem. I will call the Democratic Party the Democrat Party, okay? If, while the liar-in-chief is holding his big rallies for his white nationalist supporters to cheer and doesn't allow anyone to ask him a question, only cheering is allowed. If you will call the Republican Party, which is now a white nationalist party with a conservative fringe rather than a conservative party with a white nationalist fringe, if you will call it the white nationalist
All right, John,
party,
I'm just going to say, all right, John, I understand your deal, and I'm going to say there are good people on both sides, to quote Donald Trump, and I'm going to say that you're a good person on the other side, even though you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Goodbye, you suck toy for the left.
But, but how does he explain, the nationalist that he says he hates and he wants to blame the Caucasites? Right. The real nationalist is the South American Bolivarian socialism, which is what he practices. You see, this is why he has no credibility.
Did you say Bolivarian?
Bolivarian socialism.
What's Bolivarian?
They wave it in patriotism and liberty. The whole time they're using it as
Bolivarian?
intimidation.
Is that a country like
Bolivar?
Simone Bolivar.
Yes.
I thought you were talking like Mike Tyson when he said, "I'm going to be blown to Bolivia." Remember? He meant to say oblivion.
That's not at all what he meant.
Okay.
But anyway, it's the same. So the hypocrisy of this fraud. What he doesn't like is that Trump has co-opted who he thought he was conning, which is the Union Democrat. That's what communists and socialists like John from Mundelein, the walking fraud and contradiction, pretending to be something he's not, which is just a coward. That's what a socialist is, who doesn't have the gall to rob you himself. He wants your governor to do it. Scumbag.
So remember, they said he's too tough. He's going to cause a war. It's too tough. Now they say he's too nice. He's too nice. He's too nice.
See, Trump was honest. He said Kim Jong-un, the reason I said he's a good guy is because I don't want us to get nuked. He admitted that he was lying about Kim Jong-un because that's what you got to do when you're a diplomat.
Here's the thing. Kim Jong-un was on his knees and should be because they're absolutely bankrupt.
No, Kim Jong-un
you crushed them through the economy. He offered them a lifeline in hopes that they would conform, and you have yet to see what happened.
You mean when Trump said, get off your knees and stand, Kim Jong-un said, I am standing?
And Rahm Emanuel.
All right. As I affectionately call him, Tiny Dancer. I've got that trademarked.
I like how he speaks in that midget voice and he has to hide it with the cadence. All right, go ahead.
Now, when we come back, we're going to talk about the Supreme Court nominee. Oh, we're going to get into the legal weeds. Oh, am I going to show off the fact that I went to law school? Now it's time for the news with Tom Beck.
Gentlemen, thanks. China says the largest trade war in history is underway, and the U.S. started it. Each country has put tariffs on $34 billion worth of each other's exports. U.S. economy added 213,000 jobs last month, better than expected, but the unemployment rate rose from 3.8% to 4%. Scott Pruitt says unrelenting attacks prompted his resignation as head of the EPA. Pruitt's tenure has been marred by some scandals.
Those scandals include allegations of excessive spending, including $3.5 million on unprecedented 24/7 security, retaliation against EPA employees who questioned his spending, and cozy relationships with lobbyists for industries he was tasked to regulate.
NBC's Peter Alexander on the Today Show. A protest aimed at shutting down the Dan Ryan Expressway is still on for tomorrow. Organizer Father Michael Flager says it's a call for city leaders to improve schools and job opportunities to reduce violence. National Weather Service says swimming in parts of Lake Michigan will be dangerous today due to high winds, waves, and rip currents. A beach hazard statement is warning folks to stay out of the water in Cook County as well as Lake and Porter counties in Indiana. Well, that follows yesterday's bad storms that tore through Chicagoland and resulted in some damage, including to roofs, along with some street flooding, power outages, and flight delays. News is a service of Aruba Tourism. The happy island of Aruba is nestled in the southern Caribbean outside the hurricane belt, so picture-perfect weather is practically guaranteed. Hop a daily nonstop flight from O'Hare to one happy island. Plan your Aruba vacation today at Aruba.com. AM 560 News Times, 8:31. How bad's the traffic? We'll have the answer in 2 minutes. On AM 560, The Answer.
Mike Gallagher.
The Mike Gallagher Show. This is the headline at CNN.com. Donald Trump is as popular as he's ever been, parentheses, in one poll. That's the CNN News headline. I've never seen a more biased headline. You know what that one poll is they're referring to? Oh, I don't know, a little organization called Gallup. Oh, my gosh. We are in Crazyville.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Progressive Insurance. Comparing rates to help you save. Call or click today and find out how much Progressive could save you.
Hi, it's Amy Jacobson, and I'm impressed with the MyPillow mattress topper. There's 3 unique layers of comfort that evenly supports your body weight, helps relieve pressure points, and keeps your body temperature regulated all night, not too cold or too hot. You'll save 30%. Plus, when you buy a mattress topper at a discount, you can also get 2 free standard MyPillows. That's an unbelievable offer. 2 standard MyPillows free and 30% off a mattress topper. Or get 1 low price on 2 MyPillows and receive free shipping. But you have to use the promo code Amy. There's a 10-year warranty on pillows and mattress toppers and a 60-day money-back guarantee. So go online or call now for these great deals and others, including 30% off pet beds, sheets, and more. Go to MyPillow.com, promo code Amy, or call 800-489-0201, promo code Amy. MyPillow.com, that's 800-489-0201, promo code Amy.
At 8:33, checking roads from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Kevin.
Thanks, Tom. All lanes shut down on the inbound Stevenson with a serious crash at Cicero. Traffic stacking up back to Harlem again. Everything shut down there inbound at Cicero. Your outbound delay from California to Cicero with Gapers, 30 to the Tri-State, 40 out to 355. Elsewhere, much better on the Edens. No problems there. Kennedy in from O'Hare, 25. 15 from the Junction Express. Only save you 3. The Ohio feeder, heavy getting into downtown. Outbound side, 10 to the Junction and 22 to O'Hare. Ike in, 34. Outbound at 30 minutes. The inbound Ryan takes you 23. Jam from that Stevenson ramp into downtown. I-57, the Ford, Lakeshore Drive, all moving without issues, as are your Illinois tollways. 80 through Joliet and the roads in Indiana. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Kevin Henry on AM 560, The Answer.
Kevin, thanks. More of Chicago's Morning Answer coming your way next. Now your forecast from the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center. Mostly sunny and cooler, high 78. Saturday sunny, a high 81. Sunday mostly sunny, high of 86. Right now it's fair, 71 at O'Hare, 70 along Chicago's lakefront. Next news update comes your way at 9 o'clock. Continuous coverage of the latest news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. Now, more of Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Money Hour Radio Show, Saturday afternoons at 3 on AM 560, The Answer. Brought to you by Pearshell Financial Group.
If you're looking for the latest news, insight into what it means, and the sharpest opinion, there's only one station in Chicago where you can turn, and it's this one. We're AM 560, The Answer.
Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson.
Get serious now. Wow. You can prove that that briefcase does more than hold a bologna sandwich, you pretend lawyer, you.
Well, I did go to law school. And even I can't tell you the difference between Brett Kavanaugh and Raymond Kethledge, I guess his name is. But try saying Kethledge, Justice Kethledge 10 times.
I didn't go to law school, and I know the difference.
Yeah. You know who
bald, not bald.
You know who can help us with this? John Zmirak. He's a writer and editor for thestream.org, the author of The Politically Incorrect Guide to Immigration. But he's also an expert on Supreme Court justice nominees. Thanks for joining us this morning. We appreciate it, John.
Thank you. I actually know mostly about it and Amy Barrett.
Sure.
I agree with you. Some of these names are starting to merge together into one long name, like Barrett, Kethledge, Kavanaugh. basically not Anthony Kennedy and not Sotomayor. This is.
Yeah, exactly. I called Anthony Kennedy the High Sparrow. That's what was an easier formulation for me.
I call Bernie Sanders.
Okay.
So here's the thing about Amy Coney Barrett. And you make this point in an article that you wrote. She belongs to this cult, which I believe is called Catholicism. And so it reminds me of the Onion story once about this family that wanted to rescue its kid and deprogram him because he had entered the priesthood. He had joined this cult. So explain to me and to our listeners about this strange, crazy cult that she belongs to, and no American luminary has ever belonged to any group that we would want to associate with. So please tell us about that.
Right. I wrote a piece at stream.org. Amy Coney Barrett proves that freedom is weird. She and her husband belong to a slightly weird little group called People of Praise. Now, when I say slightly weird, any group that's worth anything will look a little weird to outsiders. For instance, have you ever heard of this group called the Jews? Do you know how they identify? No. Do you know? They're everywhere. Apparently, this cult should be in it. You have to cut a piece off the penis of the baby boy.
Tell me about it.
We'd go 4 hours without
hurting.
the penis.
I'm still hurting from it.
I mean, what a sick cult.
Sure.
You mean Shaky DeMoyle isn't Susan Collins? Listen, I have a question.
No. Let him. Would you let him? Please let him elaborate,
right,
because don't we? Aren't some of our founding fathers, weren't they members of cults as well?
For the first 150 years of our country's history, virtually every president was a Freemason. The Freemasons have these secret rituals where they dress up in aprons, they like wield swords, and they take vows of silence about these private rituals that are enforceable by death. And yet, the country seemed to get along okay. The Washington Monument, that obelisk, that is a Masonic emblem. That if you look on our money, that eye on top of the pyramid that arguably watches us, that's another Masonic symbol. And yet somehow we muddled through.
But John, honestly, when you look at the Washington Monument with those 2 red dots up there, doesn't it look like a Klansman? Doesn't it?
Oh my God, I've done that for years. I thought they did that in order to reduce crime in D.C. Just to kind of spook people.
Well, now, John, they sponsor bowling teams on the West Side, so it really didn't amount to much. Is there any one of these nominees that hasn't been thrown a fundraiser by the Bush family or Karl Rove in drag?
I'm pretty sure. That's the one thing that makes you uncomfortable about Kavanaugh. There's a picture of him with Karl Rove, and, that I can accept, but he's not trying to choke Karl Rove out.
Bingo.
You see, I'm okay if you're with Karl Rove as long as you're somehow physically attacking him, but they appear to be getting along.
Oh,
this Amy Coney Barrett, so she's a Catholic, and this People for Praise that she belongs to, I mean, basically they want you to be like good, upstanding citizens, this is a terrible thing. She's got 7 children. I think Laura Ingraham hit it, the other day. People think that people who have 7 children are really weird, and they should, and we should not be fruitful and multiply. We should be barren and subtract, apparently.
Right, we should have 7 cats. That's fine. 7 Persian cats, or like Chelsea Handler, you could just tote up the number of abortions you've had. You can brag about that.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
But if you have live, intact children, as opposed to children cut up in parts and sold in styrofoam by Planned Parenthood, then there's something weird about you.
See, John, I don't think they're weird. I just think they hate money and have no TV. But here's my issue. And that is, we are so far downstream that we're just throwing judicial activist against judicial activist. And all I want is somebody that actually does what they swear to do, which is uphold the Constitution, which is uphold the individual sovereignty. Are we just at a place now where it's just never going to happen anymore, John? It's just going to be us against them, and we get conned, and they get, it's just, I'm really troubled, like, for instance, this big decision where the only people that fought for me and my privacy were the communists. I can't figure it out, John. What's happened?
Well, which decision is that?
The one about the police tracking, using my cell phone as a surveillance device if they choose not to without a warrant. I found it outrageous that 9 of the justices didn't side with my right to privacy, and I had.
I agree with you.
Who saved me were who I view as the communists, the outright wackos. They saved me. So it's scary. These are scary times.
Yeah, that's why we have a court that they're supposed to decide based on legal and constitutional principles. But for too long, the court has simply been a dictatorship of 5 lawyers, as Antonin Scalia warned shortly before his death, that they treat the Supreme Court as a permanent sitting constitutional convention where they just decide every year, well, what does the Constitution mean now? I mean, 2 years ago it meant this, but you know what? I've read a lot and I've heard a lot of stuff on NPR, and I'm thinking the Constitution actually means the opposite of what it meant 5 years ago. And I'm like, okay, that's great. It's like they're meeting in a Stanford or Yale faculty lounge, and then they go off to play golf together, and they just reinvented the Constitution because it's whatever they want it to mean. I mean, leave it to these judicial activists long enough, and the Constitution could be a low-carb cookbook. Or maybe it could be the sequel to 50 Shades of Grey. It can be whatever the hell they want.
We're talking to John Zmirak, writer and editor for TheStream.org. I remember when Trump was interviewed after he was elected, but before he was inaugurated, by this blonde bimbo from CBS called Leslie Stahl. And, she's just like a teleprompter reader. She must be, because she asked Trump about nominating justices for the Supreme Court. And he said he wanted one that would not overturn Obergefell, if that's how you pronounce it, the gay marriage decision, but would overturn Roe versus Wade, the abortion decision. And she didn't follow it up with the question, well, if you believe in federalism, if you believe that the power should be reposed in the states, that's the basis for overturning Roe. It's also the basis for leaving gay marriage up to the states. So she never followed up the question that Trump was actually being inconsistent that way. But, what do you expect from a blonde newsreader?
Well, Laura Ingraham and Ann Coulter started off as just blondes that Fox put on television. But, some of them have brains behind the hair,
Sure, they do.
Well,
they apparently
I
do.
have to ask you a question as I watch this schizophrenia of people who pretend to care about children when they're separated from their parents, and then in the same breath rally for the murder of the absolute innocent against us. I've been hopeful and optimistic really since I was a young kid and figured out, hey, they're killing babies and calling it abortion. Is it a fact that now that we see Trump waver on this and we see his cabinet waver and not even broach the subject, and we pretend that we want precedent in the same fashion the Democrats asked for precedent when slavery and segregation was on the table? Do we have hope, or is this just going to continue to be a black mark on the American soul?
Well, yeah, I've been a pro-life activist since I was 11 years old. I was ringing doorbells for the Right to Life candidate for New York mayor. I think what the president is doing right now is simply trying to give wiggle room to schmucks like Sue Collins to say, oh, well,
you use the word schmucks because he used it last night. He gave the okay to use it during.
No, I didn't know he used it last night.
He used it last night in Montana, as he calls it.
No, yeah. I'm just like Trump. I'm also from Queens, and that's how we people talk.
Are you from Forest Hills?
No, I couldn't afford Forest Hills. I was from Astoria, Queens.
Okay.
The blue-collar part of the neighborhood.
Right.
Well, the next
people
time you're
like
in
him
town,
were our landlords. People like him were our landlords.
I see.
Next time you're in town, you stop by me for a cigar. First one's free. Second one, I charge double. You come by.
John,
free cigar minimum.
Thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you. You have a great day.
John Zmirak, writer and editor for TheStream.org. Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy on AM 560, The Answer.
This is The Morning Show. More Chicago radio listeners are choosing. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Looks like it's going to shape up to be a good day for you, old man, to go out there and pretend to be a golfer. Today's sunny with a high near 82. Tonight it's going to get down to 59. Tomorrow it's going to be 81. You have nothing to complain about. Something tells me you will be. Now today it's Kevin Henry on traffic. He's going to do some complaining as well.
Yeah, if you're on the inbound Stevenson, you're complaining a lot. They had everything shut down briefly at Cicero. Everything is off to the left shoulder now, but damage is done. It's an hour from 355 to Lakeshore Drive, 50 from the Tri-State. Outbound Gapers starting right around Western, 34 out to 294, 44 to 355. If you're headed into downtown on the Brown Line, seeing some delays after an early mechanical problem on a train at Rockwell. The inbound Kennedy just under a half hour from O'Hare, 16 from the junction. Express save you about 4. Outbound to the airport, 21. Eisenhower in jammed California to downtown, 35 from 390, 22 from Manheim. The inbound Ryan takes 22 minutes, slow from the Stevenson, and the inbound Ford taking you 16, just a little slow from Cottage Grove. I'm Kevin Henry in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Hey guys, Ken here from the Business Accelerator podcast, Today's Growth. If you had to choose a vehicle to take you up the rocky side of a mountain, would you choose a Ferrari or a Jeep? The Ferrari's faster, cooler, maybe even sexier, but if you have to get to the top, the Jeep's a better bet. I think we can agree getting to the top is not about the driver, it's the vehicle. Have you noticed people often pick their financial vehicle like they pick their cars? Washington Post shared that only 1 out of 4 people choose a job that uses their college degree. Why? Simple. Something more immediate, maybe cooler, maybe even sexier came along first. Shouldn't the main deciding factors for revenue generation be production or output? Should the cool factor have any weight in choosing someone's income? If getting to the top of the financial mountain is mission critical for you, why not add a few Jeeps to your garage? Could your household or business use an additional revenue model that makes it to the top every time? If so, you have to see the Jeeps lined up at IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
A good parking lot is essential to a good building and a good business.
This is Kevin Berquist. My company is SKC Construction, home of GreatParkingLots.com. Great parking lots. The name says it all. We make your parking lot great. We are an industry leader in seal coating. You can trust our company to do the work for your company. We have the same traditional values as you. We use a process and application that makes sure you get a great job that lasts a long time. I guarantee you'll have a good experience. Check it out, GreatParkingLots.com.
Go to GreatParkingLots.com. Schedule a free inspection and get a quote to make your parking lot a great parking lot. Special early season discounts if you act now. Save the expense. Fix, don't replace. Contact SKC Construction now for commercial parking lot seal coating and maintenance. SKC Construction, home of GreatParkingLots.com. GreatParkingLots.com.
Around here, I get things done. When our company needs supplies, we need them fast and the quality better be great. When it comes to labels, I turn to Diversified Labeling Solutions here in Itasca, Illinois, with plants nationwide. They take care of me through their network of independent distributors. No matter if I need barcode labels for my warehouse racks, durable labels for my products, or even shipping labels, Diversified can produce what I need. And they have capacity, lots of it. I've had them produce over 100 million custom labels in one run on their high-speed automated flexographic production lines. Diversified even handled a job for a trade show our CEO set up when we needed just 100 labels. Normally, the cost would kill us, but with Diversified's digital fleet, their distributor had the labels produced within a few days at a great price. Contact Diversified Labeling Solutions at teamdls.com/radio. They'll have a skilled distributor take good care of you, and you'll receive 15% off your first order. Again, that's teamdls.com/radio. Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule. Thousands of doctors, health specialists, and professionals recommend Balance of Nature as a way of improving their health. Listen to a few unsolicited success stories from doctors that use Balance of Nature as well.
Scientific research has shown that many cancers and lifestyle diseases can be prevented with a diet rich in fruits and vegetables. This prevention comes from the phytochemicals in the plants. I take Balance of Nature because I know, I've seen it in my lab, and I know that it works. I've seen the immune response increase, I've seen your DNA repair capacity increase, and I've seen DNA protection. And that, to me, as a scientist, rings so true.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
AM 560, The Answer.
Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy. And this is the, Sean, you get to talk about whatever you want to talk about segment because I've run out of energy.
You ran out? Yeah, the old man hit the wall about 40 minutes ago. So I get a lot of texts and a lot of tweets, and we get these callers who, used to call the show and hardcore conservatives, and they would rage against Obama's socialist policies, which were based on principally the equality of outcome, right?
Sure.
And everyone
That's socialism. From each
everyone
according
would-
to his ability to each according to his needs.
And we would rage.
Work
We
for
as
Venezuela.
conservatives,
Go ahead.
We would rage, right?
Yeah.
How dare you ask for the equality of outcome? But yet, those same people, look at the snoring, those same people do not recognize.
Wake up, class. Class.
They don't recognize that's exactly what protectionism is.
Right.
It really is. Only it does it in more of a deceitful way, right? It penalizes, it forces, it extorts. That's the policies that these same people who raged against Obama now cheer for.
I got to tell you,
It's
you
just
have
stupid.
waterboarded me with tariff talk.
I want
the last couple of days. Did you see me go into the weeds?
Listen, I got
with our
offended at
last
that
guest?
Pritzker commercial as a non-Jew, and I didn't know if you wanted to talk about it.
Right, there's a commercial we saw. It's the anybody but Pritzker commercial, and the guy looks like the stereotypical Jew.
It's outrageous, man.
in
By
the
Rauner, it's
commercial.
a disgrace. What a
Yeah.
scumbag. Really. Because he can't run on anything he really accomplished because he didn't accomplish
He's
anything.
the anti-Pritzker.
Right?
Yay, 20X, yay!
Oh,
But
my
you
word.
go into the weeds on tariffs like I go into the weeds, which I didn't do with our last guest, about the difference between Brett Kavanaugh and Kethledge, which I could have done.
Oh, you're
'Cause
so
this
full
is-
of it. You
this
didn't
is-
want him to pants you as an intellectual attorney.
This is conservatism 101. I didn't want to go into the depths of analysis
When communists-
on the cases that came before Brett Kavanaugh.
When communists like that Morphodite from Mundelein point out that white nationalists are ruling the Republican Party and you really can't argue that much with them, you've got a problem.
So I think this is, mark my words, Jim Jordan, I think, is in trouble.
Not because
And I
of the
like
cauliflower ear or
I-
the rolling around with guys with nylon on?
And not because he never wears a sports jacket. I like that. I like what he's doing with Nunez and Meadows and Trey Gowdy with regard to the FBI. But just like they got Scott Pruitt, they're going to get Jim Jordan.
Really?
Because as an assistant wrestling coach at Ohio State, he knew that the team doctor was molesting wrestlers. And, I saw the Daily Caller knocked out the credibility of a couple of the witnesses there because one of these guys is a fraud, and he's actually literally committed fraud against people. But there is one witness there, a guy named Sean Daly, who was a wrestler at the time, who considers himself a friend of Jordan, who is a Republican, seems upstanding, and he says that Jordan knew that this was going on at the time, and this is going to tarnish Jim Jordan,
Really?
I believe. Yes.
Poppycock. Because an 18-year-old
Poppycock.
man,
Yeah.
we send him to foreign lands to fight and die. But he can't, he needs somebody to help him when he's being molested? Come on. It's more of a statement of how weak society is than the actual problem.
Let's go to Jeff in Dundee. Hello, Jeff.
Hey, Bruce, Sean, has Dan Pross asked you to go out flying with him yet? What do you know about his flying escapades?
He is the Chuck Yeager of.
I can't stand the picture
Of
with those
Wheaton.
glasses on. He
Yes.
looks like a fly where he's on the plane. I can't take him serious.
The only time I've been in a vehicle with Dan was on New Year's Day, 2011, and I was in the passenger seat of his fancy car, and I was hitting the phantom brake because he was going 32 miles an hour
he's a
in a
reckless-
30-mile-an-hour zone.
He likes
so
fast.
yeah, that was the problem there. I'm sure he's a World War I flying ace out there.
Hola!
Thank you,
Yeah.
Jeff. Thank you.
You know, that's one thing
So,
I'd like
yes.
to learn is really, I'd like to fly, but I want to do it like the Red Baron with the open cockpit
Sure.
and the scarf on.
Little wing walking.
Let's get some
as
people
well.
nervous. A lot of politicians
Yeah.
nervous. You put me in a plane.
No question about it. So I think Jim Jordan is going to be in a little bit of trouble because of that. It's going to tarnish him, and that's too bad because as much as there might be a legitimate story there, I don't like it that the likes of NBC never cover the fact that he's been on this justifiable crusade against the FBI. They never give him any voice there, but they will attack
What
him.
happens to old politicians? They become lobbyists and live in $2 million condos like Boehner. You're worried about this guy?
Yes,
Please.
I am. I'm
you
worried
need
about
$20 from this guy. Don't worry about
I'm
him.
worried about Jim Jordan. Anyway, will we have time to say goodbye before we end the show? Yes, we will. Thank you to our staff announcer, Justin, in there. Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy.
And thank you to you.
Do you feel people with contagious such a screening for Blau?
Listen to Dan and Amy on your smartphone. Download the AM 560 mobile app today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Shop Lowe's July 4th savings all week for great deals to keep your lawn and patio looking sharp. Conquer it all with a Cobalt 40-volt max lithium-ion cordless trimmer or blower. Now only $129 each, including a versatile battery system that powers over 10 tools. Then add some style to your outdoors with up to 40% off select patio and outdoor decor. All projects have a starting point. Start with Lowe's. Offers valid through 7/9. See store for details.
My name is Sophia, and my mom is one of the 220,000 in Illinois living with Alzheimer's. I'm constantly thinking about her, and when I heard 60% of those diagnosed with Alzheimer's will wander at some point, I was worried. Silver Search is a new tool in Illinois to help locate those missing with Alzheimer's or another dementia. Go to silversearchillinois.org to learn more on how Illinois is working to protect its citizens and learn how you can help.
Sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association.
What I suffer from is anxiety, along with depression. But I feel the anxiety triggers depression more times than not. My first experience with HPR was my initial interview. It was welcoming. It felt very good. I saw results pretty much immediately. Even after my first treatment, I felt different than when I came in. I think HPR could work for pretty much anyone. I think that what HPR has done for me was awaken a part of my brain that either stopped working or never worked. I think everybody can benefit from HPR. I'm Alex, and HPR Treatments has helped save my life.
HPR centers in Chicagoland and Milwaukee offer TMS therapy. In just a few weeks, you can change your life, and it's FDA cleared. It's covered by most insurance, including Blue Cross, Blue Shield, and Medicare. Cure or remission. Get a free consultation. 800-604-0208. 800-604-0208. HPR Centers. Go to endmydepression.com.
As you approach retirement, it's important to determine the amount of income you can receive from Social Security. Depending on when and how distributions are taken, you may be able to optimize the benefits you're eligible to receive, particularly among married couples. Call Jack Taboda today to get a copy of his informational booklet, The Social Security Decisions. This informational booklet presents the facts about Social Security distribution options to help you determine when and how to begin taking distributions, so you may receive more income over the course of your retirement. To receive your Social Security Decisions informational booklet, call Jack at 630-777-7955 or visit Taboda.com. That's TEBODA.com. Get the most out of your Social Security benefits. Call today, 630-777-7955.
Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC. AE Wealth Management and Taboda & Associates are not affiliated companies. Taboda & Associates is not affiliated with the U.S. government or any governmental agency.
AM 560, The Answer.
All right, I want to thank Quinn and Justin, Arnie Harris, Jack
And your
Rosenberg,
hairdresser.
and the rest of our Channel 9 crew. Sean, as always, a pleasure.
Always a pleasure.
My hairdresser, too.
Your
Yeah,
hairdresser. We could have
thank you.
talked about my businesses or how it's what
Name
it's like
one
to
or
have this
two of your businesses
Humber
right now.
Cigar House, Liberty Real Estate Services, Liberty Hour on Sunday nights, or we could talk about what it's like to walk around in the same shoes for 30 years.
La 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 la
And you
la
need-
la ka-ching.
And now let's go to Tom Beck in the newsroom.
Gentlemen, stories we're watching. A protest aimed at shutting down the Dan Ryan is on for tomorrow. Repair and cleanup continue after severe thunderstorms rolled through our area yesterday. Time now for an update from Fox News on AM 560 The Answer, WIND Chicago.